The murder of Malik Brown. May 23, 2020, Kisseemmee, Florida. An unidentified caller in Osceola County calls 911 and reports a crime. The caller states that someone has been shot. The caller also reports seeing a body being dragged into a red vehicle. In response, law enforcement goes to the scene of the supposed crime, but they are too late. Detectives find blood on the driveway and two .45 caliber casings near the roadway. Detectives also learn that 3 roommates live on the property: Malik Brown, Mark Velez-Amador, and Thaddeous Warrington. Detectives find that Thaddeous Warrington has a girlfriend, Lana Vaughn, and that Lana owned a red vehicle, a Toyota Corolla. On that same day, Lana Vaughn's family, unaware of her location, files a missing person report about Lana. The investigation progresses very quickly, and it takes investigators to other locations in Florida. The day after the shooting, Ocala police responds to a reported brush fire and finds a burned body. It turns out that the body they find is that of Malik Brown. He is one of the roommates from the residence where a shooting was reported the previous day in Osceola County. Not long after the body of Malik is found, the Daytona Beach Police Department stops Lana Vaughn's red Corolla, with Mark, Lana, and Thaddeous inside. Each of them is taken to a separate interrogation room. Detectives take turns questioning Mark, Lana, and Thaddeous. And the resulting story of what happened is truly disturbing. In the end, all 3 face charges in connection to the murder of Malik Brown. So who killed Malik Brown? Why was he killed? And how was he killed? Did Malik Brown and his loved ones receive justice? Let's do a deep dive and explore these issues. Here is the interrogation of Lana Vaughn, which was taken the day after the murder.
All right, if you will, have a seat right there. You need anything to drink or any snacks or anything like that?
Could I please get some water?
Some water? Ice water?
Yes.
You want ice in it? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi there. Do you have any weapons or any property on you?
I have a nicotine stick in my bra.
A nicotine
No.
stick? You have no pockets. Can you stand up for me? Can you get it out?
Yes,
Okay. Nothing else? All right, I just need to check and make sure. Do you have a bra on?
yes, ma'am.
And you don't have money or your ID or anything stuck in your bra?
Nope.
Okay, turn and look at me. Nothing else in your armpits? No. Okay. All right, have a seat back down. We're just going to hold on to this for you, okay?
Okay.
Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You can pull up to the table there if you'd like. Just give us a few and then we'll have somebody come in and talk with you, okay?
Hi. Hello. Hi. I'm Ryan Quinn. I'm a detective.
Sorry, I fell asleep a bit.
You fell asleep? You bored? Yeah. Alright. You sleeping? Tired? You exhausted? Alright, well, like I said, I'm Detective Quinn. Okay, this is Detective Cortez. Okay, how are you feeling?
Just tired.
Just tired? Okay, can I get your first name for the record, please?
Lana, L-A-N-A.
Okay.
Van, V-A-N.
You have a middle name?
T.
T? Is it a whole name?
Teresa.
Teresa, how do you spell it?
T-E-R.
T-E-R?
T-S-A.
Okay, what's your date of birth?
2003.
What's your address? How long you lived there?
About 5 years.
5 years? Alright, what's your phone number? What Why do you think you're here today?
Because I'm missing.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Where are you missing from?
My parents, I guess.
Okay. I'm gonna read you something real quick, okay? Okay. Don't get frightened. Don't get scared. It doesn't mean anything. Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand? Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand? You have the right to an attorney. Do you understand? If you cannot afford an attorney and want one will be provided to you free by the courts. Do you understand? At any time during questioning, you can request an attorney before, during, and after any questioning. Okay? Now, can you raise your right hand for me? Okay. Do you swear that the statement you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth to the best of your knowledge, so help you God? Okay. So you said you're missing, right? How long have you been missing for?
I guess just a day.
Just a day. Who are you with today?
My boyfriend and his friend.
Your boyfriend. What's your boyfriend's name?
Thaddeous.
Do you know how to spell that?
Thaddeous.
What's his last name?
Warrington.
Warrington. How old is Thaddeus?
19.
Okay. How long have you been dating Thaddeus?
A year.
1 year. Who else was with you today?
Mark.
Mark. You know Mark's last name? No? How long have you known Mark?
Not too long. Like, I know him fair enough, but
How long?
nothing too deep. Probably say a couple months maybe.
Couple months. How do you know Mark?
My boyfriend.
They friends?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have they been friends?
I was told since, I believe, high school.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what's been going on since you've been missing? What have you been doing?
We just went to the beach.
The beach? Whose car?
Mine.
Your car? What kind of car do you have?
For a Toyota Corolla.
Were you in it today?
Mhm.
Who's all in that car?
Just all of us.
Who's all of us?
Mark and Thaddeus and me.
Okay. Who's driving?
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. Okay. Where were you guys at when the police made contact with you?
Target.
Target. What were you guys doing there?
Just planning on getting food and any essentials.
Ah, when was the last time you ate?
Probably yesterday. I'm not too hungry. So
Okay. What are you doing in Daytona?
just wanted to go to the beach and just get away.
Get away from what?
Just Kisseemmee. Just wanted to enjoy ourselves before I had to go back to work.
Where do you work?
Wendy's.
Which Wendy's do you work at?
It's nearby Popcove Island on 535.
Popcove Island. That considered Kissimmee or Orlando?
Both.
Okay. How long have you been working there?
Couple months.
Okay. When did you guys get to Daytona?
About yesterday.
Do you remember what time?
No.
Was it daytime? Nighttime?
Not quite sure. We're just really on the road.
Was it dark? Was it light out? Was the sun still out?
Both. I was just sleeping the majority of the time.
So you weren't driving? Where did you guys drive from?
Kisseemmee.
Kissimmee? So, What did you guys do? Why are you reported missing?
I'm not sure.
You're not
I
sure?
just don't really talk to my mom like that. Like, I spoke to my dad, like, I
So-
seen him
When did you see your dad?
yesterday.
About what time?
12?
12? Okay. What did you go see your dad for?
He
Is
was
your
there.
dad or your stepdad?
He's my stepdad.
Okay.
I just missed him. He was gonna give me some money. I usually go to see the dogs, just conversate with him and his girl.
Okay. How much money did he give you?
Give me $10.
Okay. What did you do after that? Did you hang around?
Yeah. Like, what do you mean hang around? Like,
So,
with
with your
my
dad? With your stepdad?
Yeah, I stayed there for like probably 45 minutes.
Okay.
So just-
Who were you there by yourself?
I was with him, his girlfriend, just me.
Okay. And so where'd you go after that? Were you drinking alcohol?
No.
Did you smoke any pot? Do you take medication?
No.
Nothing? Okay. You can't remember where you went after that?
No. Just really tired.
But you drove?
Yeah, drove for a bit, but then it's just like I got tired and then
Where'd you sleep at?
in my car.
All throughout the whole night? And it was you and the other guys? Where at?
We just parked up somewhere.
Was it far from here or more near your dad's house?
It was here in Daytona.
Oh, it was in Daytona? Okay. Well, they were really worried about you. To the point where they got a little nervous. Because we heard that you said you work at Wendy's, right? And they got worried to the point where they actually checked if you were supposed to work yesterday or something like that?
Yeah, I was.
And what happened with that?
I just got really tired. I called out.
Oh, you called out? So
Yeah.
that's when they really got nervous.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, just because you're like a minor, you know. The good thing is that we called them, told them that you're okay, everything's good, because they were like freaking out. Okay, so they're totally a lot better now, knowing that you're okay and you're good and that we're talking to you. Okay, so thank God for that. But for example, did you say that you went to your dad's house, right? Alright, and you chill with him for a while, you got some money? And how'd you get over there? You drove over there. And you were like, not with these people.
I was with them.
Oh, you were with them?
Yeah, but they didn't like come up with me to my dad's.
Okay.
Because I'd just rather talk to my dad on my own
No,
time.
of course, right? Does your dad know about the boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're cool. They're cool. They let him.
They recently met.
Okay, so as long as there's nothing going on, that your dad is okay with it. And
Yeah,
everything
he
like
knows
that.
about him. The only person that hasn't met him is my mom.
Okay, well, that's gonna be between you and your mom, all right? We're not even we're not gonna even go there. So I guess did you have to like drop him off before you went to your dad's house? Like how'd that work?
He chilled with me. He chilled with me, like he was just in the car.
Oh, he was in the car while you went inside with your dad.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, and that was what's his name? Thaddeus and Mark. They were in the car while you were chilling with your dad. Okay, totally. Now it makes more sense, right? Because, like I said, they were super worried. Okay, super worried. And unfortunately, with our work, anything that deals with a minor, we have to like go all out. I don't know if you know that.
Understandable.
All right, you never ran away before, right?
Well, I never actually like ran away. Like there was a situation once where I just ended up staying at my friend's, and my mom just didn't know where I was.
But she didn't call the police? She just like waited?
She did threaten with it, but after a while I eventually just showed home because I don't like getting caught up with law authorities and stuff like that.
No, I got you. Nobody does, right? So, can you just share with us basically that whole day, right? Because unfortunately, we have to make sure we just document. Thank God you have no injuries, right? Nobody kidnapped you, right? Everything that you've done in the last...
It was on my own free will.
It was on your own free
I chose
will?
to.
You chose to do it?
Yes.
Alright, awesome. Nobody hit you, no injuries, nothing like that. So just tell us what happened like the last, I don't know, day or so, 2 days, so we could feel good about this. Normally, do you sleep at your mom's house or your dad's house?
I live with my mom, but I tend not to be home.
Okay, so typically where you lay your head, I guess.
I usually, I'm either at my best friend's or my boyfriend's.
Alright. What's today? Sunday.
Today's Sunday.
So this Friday. Friday you slept at mom's, dad's, boyfriend's, or you said best friend? What's her name?
Giovanna.
Giovanna? Okay. Do you remember that day whose house you slept in, I guess?
Can I just remain silent?
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
I just don't want to talk anymore.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Just
Hey.
really tired.
Hey, whatever's wrong, we can help you with it.
I know.
You know?
I just don't need any help. I'm just really tired.
Okay. So we're just asking questions. I don't know what you meant by that.
Oh, well, I was at my boyfriend's. I usually tend to be there.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah, but
we don't even care about too much about
I
your
just don't want to come
boyfriend.
off rude. I'm just really tired. I don't
You're
wanna
not
talk
coming off
anymore.
rude. Don't
I
worry.
just
You're
don't
not coming
wanna
off
talk
rude.
anymore.
Any of your parents in the military?
My dad was
Yeah. Where'd he serve?
Army.
Army. How many years?
I believe 20-something.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, about 20-something.
Is he still
years.
around?
Yeah, that's my dad.
That's great. Should be proud of that.
Yeah.
Are you cooler with your mom or your dad?
My dad.
What's your dad's name?
David Butler.
Now, listen. I'm kind of guessing that you kind of may feel uncomfortable talking about something. Listen, whatever it is, okay, we're here to help. Okay? How old are you?
17.
You're 17 years old. You're still in high school? When do you graduate? Did you graduate this year or no?
I'm supposed to graduate next year.
You plan on going to college?
Not right away.
Why?
I want to make sure I'm stable.
What do you mean by that?
I want to make sure I have my money correct. I want to make
Okay.
sure that I'm mentally healthy and I have the mental capacity to take on more work because high school is already draining enough as it is.
Like you say mentally healthy, there's nothing wrong with you mentally now, right?
No, I just can tend to sometimes get depressed.
Yeah.
Or just have my
I'm sorry.
mood swings.
Yeah.
So I just taking on college is just a lot. And
It
it's
is.
just,
It is.
although yeah, my parents may pay for it, but what about after when I graduate? I don't know where I'm gonna go.
What do you plan on doing after college for career?
I always wanted to take on photography, or I used to want to be a therapist or even a writer. It's just all of those things fall under so much school, and it's I don't mind taking on the career. It's just the school is just too much 'cause it's
You're
like,
looking to help people, but you're just not sure how, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so you're
it's
pretty,
just the school.
yeah. If you ever, shoot, so you take pictures now?
I do and
Do you
don't.
practice?
If only I had a camera, because I just use my phone.
Phones have great cameras these days. You can
Yeah.
do a lot of editing with phone cameras. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know, I can tell you've had a rough couple days, right? Been
Just
rough.
really tired.
Been rough.
It's been like.
Has it been rough mentally? You can be honest with me.
It's just I've been stressing about school, you know, and just like, it's just school and school.
Mhm.
It's just annoying.
You got brothers or sisters?
I have a brother.
How old's he?
21.
Oh, he's 21, older brother. Does he look after you?
Not really.
No. Is he local down here?
Yeah, he stays in Kisseemmee with us.
Oh,
but
okay.
he's just not around right now.
Doing his own thing?
Yeah, he's just visiting Washington.
Oh, wow. What's in Washington?
We were born and raised there.
Oh, wow. Very nice. Very cool. Listen, I can relate a lot to what you're going through right now. I know the last few days has been really hard for you, both mentally and physically. You know, we want to help you with whatever is going on, and I would really like for you to help yourself. You know what I mean? And it's crucial. It's vital that you know, tell us about your last 2 days, Lana. Okay? 'Cause we don't want to see. It's hard for me to explain. Okay? But can you do your best to remember the last couple days and tell us what happened? We're here with you. If you need support, we're here. Whatever you need, you know, I'll do my best to get it for you. But
If you're able to answer this, what's going to happen after this? Like, are my parents going to come pick me up? Like...
Yeah, for juveniles, right? Once they're reported missing, right? Because you're not 18.
yeah.
So typically an 18-year-old will just make sure you're okay with no injuries. But juveniles would have to get sent back to the family.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is there any way I can choose to go to my dad's, or would I have to be forced to go to my mom's?
Maybe we can
Yeah.
talk about that when the time comes.
If everyone is in agreement,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, but now we have to just, you know, we have to talk. Can you tell us about the last 2 days? I know it's rough. I know it's going to be hard. Okay? I know it's going to be damn hard. It's got to... Hey.
I just remember Friday, we went to go pawn some stuff because we needed money to make sure we could eat for the day.
Where were you at? I'm sorry.
I was with my boyfriend
Okay.
and his friend, and we just went to go pawn some stuff, get some money, make sure we had gas in the car. We ended up going to lakefront to watch the clouds and see the lighthouse.
Okay. I know. We're here for you. You gotta believe that.
We ended up playing Uno that night. I remember we were just playing Uno late night in the house.
None of it's your fault. None of it is your fault, sweetheart. You have to look out for yourself. You have to be somebody someday. You're too young. I know it's hard, and it's not normal, and you should have never, been subjected to any of that. I have a kid your age, starting college, and you got family that's worried about you, wondering what's going to happen to you, It's hard. Can you do your best? Help us help you, Lana.
I just remember going in the room that night after Uno because we played a lot of rounds. They had some beers, we were just smoking. Then I just went to go lay down. And then I called it a night, really.
And then what?
I can't say more for much after that because I just slept.
You stayed at the house? All night?
I didn't sleep till late.
How late? When did you wake up?
I don't even remember.
Was it daylight? Oh. I know there are some things that you don't want to talk about, but it's hard. I know you're only 17, and none of this is normal, and it shouldn't be normal for you. Okay? Was anybody arguing? Lana, be honest with me.
I was just told that someone was coming over, and I didn't really pay mind to it because I was just trying to sleep.
Okay.
And, I guess this dude came over because my boyfriend and his friend, they live together, but as well with someone else, so I guess it was the guy's friend. And, all I knew was that they were just outside because I was in the room. And it's just I heard something really, really fucking loud. It's part of my language.
You're fine.
But I got worried because my boyfriend wasn't in the room, and I went outside, and it's just, I seen blood, and I just freaked out, and I just left.
Whose blood did you see?
I don't know.
So you just
But
left after
I just
that?
seen blood, yeah. Because it's that loud noise shook me.
Hey, you're doing fantastic. Okay, you're doing a good job. Okay, and I know it's hard. But you have to. I believe you. Okay. And I know you're scared to, keep going. and, you know, tell us whose blood you saw.
I didn't see anybody. I just... Like, me and my boyfriend, we were just like, we need to be out.
You guys bounced?
Yeah.
You guys bounced?
Like, it just shook us. And it was like, it just seemed like it was the last place we needed to be. And I was just scared. I was scared, like I had woken up scared. I don't like that. I don't like even being woken up to begin with.
Did you drive?
Yeah.
Was it your car you left in? Who was with you?
My boyfriend, his friend,
Who's his friend?
Mark.
Oh, Mark. So you, Thaddeous, and Mark drove off after that. Well, what happened to the person who was bleeding?
I didn't see anybody left bleeding. I just seen a whole puddle of blood. And
Okay.
I just didn't like it. And my boyfriend was just trying to cover me from seeing it.
Yeah. Where did you guys go when you left? And when we're talking about the house, where the argument, where you saw the blood, do you know the address?
I don't know their exact address.
Do you know whose house is it? Who lives there?
It was Mark's house.
Mark's house? Who lives there?
He lives with his dad.
Does Thaddeus live there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. How often do you stay there? Do you go there quite a bit?
Yeah, I'm usually over there, but I try not to be there too much.
Why is that?
Just because I don't want to be a clingy girlfriend.
Yeah. Aw. So where'd you guys go when you left?
It just seemed like we need to get off of that side of town, so we went towards nearby my dad's.
You know which way, when you came out of Mark's neighborhood, do you know which way you went?
I turned left.
You turned left? Okay. Then where did you go?
We went towards my dad's side.
What side's that?
Nearby, like, before Davenport.
Okay. Okay. And where'd you go? Like, where did you end up?
Well, I used to stay on that side of town, so I had, like, a couple of spots I know of.
Okay.
And it was just, like, it was late night, and we just needed to sleep. So I just kind of parked at one spot I know, and...
What spot was that?
I don't really know how to explain it. It's just a little
No, explain
cut.
it.
It's like an apartment.
Do you know what they're called?
Mm-mm.
You know what road it's off of?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. But it's by your dad's? Okay. So how long did you stay there for?
Probably until I went to go see my dad.
Okay. Did you have your car the whole time? Yeah? Hey, you're doing fantastic. Okay, I know it's hard. Okay, and I know it's never gonna be easy, but we're here to help you through it. Okay? And I know none of it, like I said before, none of it's normal, and you shouldn't have been subjected to any of it. Okay, so when you left that spot near your dad's, was it morning? Was it nighttime still?
We left during the morning because I went to go see my dad around 12.
Around 12, okay. And then, where'd you go after you saw your dad? And they were with you, Mark and Thaddeus was with you, and they just waited in the car? Okay, so you got back in the car after you saw your dad. Where did you guys go then?
We went to McDonald's.
Okay. Which McDonald's?
Nearby my dad's house.
Do you know, can you describe it? Anything near it?
There's a 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven? Okay.
Is that drive-through?
Yeah, we just got water.
Okay.
And I needed to use the restroom and stuff.
They let you in?
Okay. Okay. Where'd you go after that?
Went to the gas station.
Which one?
The one right next to it.
Is it the 7-Eleven?
Did you pay at the pump? Yeah.
Well,
Use your card?
no.
No.
I used cash.
Okay. Who went in and paid?
I did.
Okay. Okay. And then after that?
We really just went back to the spot.
How long did you stay at the spot?
Just for quite some bit, because we were still really tired. I was just kind of shook, so it was just like I was just still tired.
How long did you stay?
For a good, decent enough of time, and then we finally just like woke up and we were just like, man, like we just wanted to go somewhere, and just like we want to go to the beach. We want to be nearby water, because we just wanted to be able to hear the ocean and just like relax.
So then you went to what beach?
We went to Daytona.
Daytona? Where'd you go when you got up to Daytona?
I don't really remember. I was sleeping.
I'm sorry?
I was just sleeping.
You were sleeping? Who was driving at that time?
My boyfriend.
Thaddeous. Okay, so he drove from Kisseemmee all the way to Daytona? Okay. What happened when you got to Daytona? When did you wake up?
Can't really remember. I was just really in and out of my sleep.
Okay. Listen. I know it's hard. I know it's hard for you to mention certain things. But I know there's a little more to it, Lana. There's a little bit more. Okay, and I'm sorry that you know about. It's so hard for me to grasp because you're so young, but I want to help you. We want to help you. Okay, your family wants to help you. Okay. You gotta do the right thing. You know, a lot of times when we talk to you, you know, a lot of the times we are, you know, may know already what happened. But you have so much more life ahead of you. Don't throw it away, please. As a father. Your father does not want you to do that. People love you, Lana. Okay? This is you and Thaddeus, it's puppy love. Gone here one minute, gone the next. Won't be your first, won't be your last.
That's what you may say.
No. Hey, I'm 46 years old. Been there and done that. Lana. You know, you got a lot. You have no idea how much more life you have ahead of yourself. You know, you have to be somebody. You know, you gotta be one of the good people in this world.
You said that you heard a really loud noise. That, I guess that's what woke you up?
Mhm.
How many noises did you hear? Was it just one?
I believe there was two.
Two loud noises, you woke up, you got, I know that scary feeling of freaking being disturbed while you're sleeping. And what happened when you woke up? You like jumped up? Or then what?
I tried looking out the window a bit from my boyfriend's room, but I couldn't really see anything. Then I just ran outside.
Because it's upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Alright, you ran outside, and then you said you saw a large puddle.
It was like a decent amount of blood.
So, obviously you weren't outside by yourself, right? It was you, your boyfriend.
And Mark, we're the only ones there when I came outside.
That's it, nobody else, right?
Yeah, but I was being told that this dude's friend was supposed to come over for
Okay.
him.
And the dude's friend is like, did you say it was a roommate?
The guy who lives there with them is a roommate, yeah.
Was that the friend that you're referring to, a different person?
No, like, he was supposed to have his friend coming over.
Okay. Do you know if it was like another car, van, truck, on
I don't
foot?
really know. Like, I was just kind of, like, halfway in my sleep, and I was just being told, hey, like,
Okay.
just so you're aware, there's gonna be people around the house. So just,
Yeah.
like, here.
Yeah. Alright, so, you just heard about another dude coming up, right?
But I don't really pay mind to it, because I was just...
I feel you. Large pool of blood, you said, oh shit, we needs to go. You got in the car, did everybody get in the car quickly, or what?
Yeah, it was just like, we're still kind of, like, everybody was just still kind of freaking out about, like,
What just
the
happened?
hell just happened. really.
Exactly. But initially, right, because it's important, right, because I'll be honest with you, okay, we know a lot, right, when you drove off, who was in the car, like, that initial moment?
What you mean?
Like,
When
the
you backed
car
out of the driveway.
was the car, like, obviously in the driveway, right? You got in the car. Did everybody get in immediately?
Mark was kind of freaking out.
Okay.
He was just like...
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he in the passenger in the front or in the back?
They were in the back.
He was in the back?
They were both in the back.
So who was in the passenger side?
No one, it was just me in the front.
Okay. Then, I'm guessing everybody's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit,
Yeah,
right?
we're just like, oh shit, like, where do we even really go? And I was just like, I need to, like, go back to my dad's side. Because, like, that's where, like, my best friend and stuff are.
Makes total sense.
Just know a spot over there.
Yeah. So behind you, right? You're in the driver. Behind you is who?
I don't really know. I was really just focused on the road.
Alright.
Because it was dark.
But you said you remember what Mark? You said Mark was freaking out?
Yeah, he was just like, holy shit. Like, he just seemed pretty shook. Like, we all did.
Okay. Okay. Then you said, yo, we made a left. From that exact moment when you, like, left, right, you didn't stop anywhere, you just drove.
Mm-hmm.
And it was you, Mark, and your boyfriend. Okay, makes sense. Do you recall, I know it's crazy, right? What time?
What time?
Yeah, around what time? 'Cause it was late, right?
I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know. I was just really, like, kind of half awake.
Do you remember what time you went to bed?
Alright, so I think I know the area over there pretty well. When you made a left, right? Earlier you said like Lakeshore, right? Was that the Lakeshore that you were referring to?
No, we go to Lakefront. It's like downtown Kissimmee.
Kissimmee. Oh, I like that one. That's a new one, right? It's like brand new.
It's been there for quite a while, I guess.
They fixed it up.
Yeah.
This looks cool. When you made the left, did you make another left or you continue going straight?
We took another left.
Okay, I believe that's what, Fortune?
Yeah.
Alright, you went to Fortune Road, then you kept going. Then I'm trying to think of how far that goes. That goes pretty far, right?
Yeah, we went, well, like, not really. We went straight through the light, which led to 192.
Straight through the light. Straight all the way, which leads to Valencia.
Yeah.
The big place on the left.
Now I know what you're talking about. You go to
When
Valencia.
you get to the light.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, there's a big place on your left when you get to the light at 192, right?
No, you know where
There's like a
Valencia's at?
racetrack.
Yeah. Right there, yeah, racetrack.
Yeah, racetrack.
Alright, and then you went on 192? Then you kept on going straight down 192 for a long time? I think your dad lives like way down there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you didn't go to your dad's though?
No.
Your best friend? Just somewhere just to lay low?
Yeah, we just, well, like, it wasn't really to just lay low, just so we could at least be parked up without getting towed or, like, in trouble or anything.
Gotcha. Talk to us about, like, that conversation or the, honestly, we all know it's a oh shit factor, right? It's a oh shit moment. It's a whole lot of oh shit. Talk to us about, like, that, like, how that went down, you know? Did you, throughout this process, before going to your dad's house, did you stop anywhere else? Okay. And then you chill with your dad for a little bit. From your dad, you went to the McDonald's first. Went inside, got some water, went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Then you went to the 7-Eleven. Is it right next to that McDonald's? Boom. You gassed up. Did you get a chance to go inside the 7-Eleven?
I did.
Okay. Did you buy anything?
No, I just went to pump gas.
Okay, so you had to say, hey, here's money for,
Yeah.
was it cash? Okay. Was you the only one that went inside, or everybody else went inside too?
I was just the only one to.
Everybody stayed in the car?
Yeah, it was just to make it quick.
1, 2, 3. And how much gas you get?
I think I bought like $5.
$5?
5 or 10, one of those two.
Alright. From there, you said you went after the 7-Eleven. I just want to check my notes, right? From the 7-Eleven, you went to where?
We went back to the spot.
Okay.
And then that's like when we kind of just wanted to rest up a bit more. And then we just decided like later on, because we're just like, which beach should we really go to? Because it was just like the whole factor of like, where will we park at? Like, are we gonna like for sure not get towed? Because the last thing we need to do is get towed while we're at a beach.
No, that makes sense. Did you end up going to a beach?
Yeah, we went to Daytona.
Oh, went to Daytona? Alright. That's when you decided, let's go to Daytona. Okay. And I think initially you said you drove to Daytona, or was it your boyfriend?
It was him.
Alright, he drove to Daytona. You're worried about the car getting towed. Is your license no good?
No, my license is good. I've just gotten towed before.
Oh yeah?
About
Damn,
3
that
times
sucks.
now. And
Wow.
Alright.
yeah, so that's the last thing I need.
Yeah, you're right about that. I hate that. Alright, you went to Daytona. Did you eat breakfast? Nothing? Nothing? Alright. After Daytona, what happened?
Well, we've still been in Daytona.
Yeah.
We're kind of still here.
Yeah, but you, initially, when you first got here, right, did you actually make it to the water?
Well, it was late night. We planned on going to the water.
Okay.
I know, like, I heard my boyfriend saying, like, hey, it's the beach. And I said, like, there's water.
Okay. Anything happened before the beach? Okay. No other pit stops, more gas, food, drive-thrus?
Not that I'm aware of. I was sleeping.
Alright, makes sense, right?
You were in your car the whole time?
It's just sleeping.
Up till today?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got stopped at the Target.
Mhm.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
And that's about it?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, obviously there was an incident that occurred, right, where you had your oh shit factor. Alright. You heard 2 loud bangs, right? Can you take a guess what that was?
Obviously a gun.
Yeah. So I'm gonna need you to be a little bit more specific in that aspect, okay? Because like I said, I know you're tired, but we've been up for like 36 hours, right?
No sleep.
But then we really know a lot of information. So you're saying that you believe that you heard 2 gunshots. Talk to us about that.
There's really not much more to expand on it. It's kind of just putting 2 and 2 together. I heard really big noises, seeing blood. It's kind of just, you can't really just miss it if you hear it.
That totally makes sense, yeah.
It's traumatizing.
And as well with just like, I know the sounds of guns because I used to go to the gun range with my dad.
And out of the group, I guess, who has a gun?
None of us.
Not you?
No.
Okay. Your boyfriend?
Doesn't have a gun.
There's a guy named Mark.
No.
He doesn't have a gun?
No.
So you have no clue where this gun comes from.
No idea.
And then on the corner, somewhere in the edge, is this friend of a friend that's supposed to come over?
Yeah.
But you never met him at all?
But I heard his, I don't know his name, but I know he runs by a whole nickname or something like that.
What's his nickname?
I think it's something Hispanic,
Something Hispanic?
I think it's I know it starts with a C.
A C? Okay. The good thing about it is that it's not your blood that you saw.
Of course not.
It's not your boyfriend's blood, right?
No.
I haven't seen Mark, so I'm not sure if he got any injuries. It's not his blood. Right. If you were to take a guess whose blood it was, what would you say?
I feel like it'd either have to be one of those 2 friends, because they weren't there.
One of 2 friends?
Like the roommate or
Who's the roommate? Who all lives at that house? Let's do that.
It's the landlord, the dad, obviously.
Whose dad?
Mark's dad.
Mark's dad.
Mark's
Okay.
dad.
His grandma.
Grandma.
My boyfriend.
Thaddeous.
Mark,
of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
And who else?
And Malik.
Malik.
So we call him.
Who is Malik?
I don't really know. I call him Fresh.
Fresh. What's
Alright,
Malik
so-
look like? Sorry.
I just usually tend to see him with the do-rag.
Do-rag.
Are we gonna... Let's go easy. White, black, or Spanish?
Yeah.
I believe he was... Balances between Hispanic or...
Oh, it's okay. I got you. No.
Dark skin?
Yeah, around
Maybe.
so.
Did you get to see him that day?
Well, when he came home from work, he was upset because we were in the room with his speaker.
Oh.
Yeah, so and then we
Damn.
tried inviting him to play Uno, but he didn't want to.
Okay.
But, just said hi to him, but we don't really have a good connection. We don't really just hang out a lot because obviously I'm with my boyfriend.
But I'm sorry, you said you did see him that day or no? Okay, you saw him?
When he was upstairs, because I was just remaining in the room playing Uno with them.
Alright, was he part of the group or he's not part of the group? The group, when I say group, you, your boyfriend, and Mark, is he part of that clique or not really? No?
We'd provide him with rides to go to say like if he's thirsty or hungry or like just needed something from the store. But it wasn't anything like I would call him my friend.
Okay, so he's not your friend.
Just
Gotcha.
because he was an older man and like, you know, he's just...
The Malik guy.
Yeah.
And would you call him Mark's friend or no?
I don't think so. I don't really know, like...
And is he Thaddeus' friend or no?
So
he's like the outsider.
Well, not really. It was just he really needed... Like, all I really knew was like he needed a place to stay and they provided him with a place to stay.
Gotcha. How long has he been there?
I'm not quite sure.
Where does he stay at in that house? Does he have a room?
It's not technically a room.
What is it?
It's like a living room.
Living room? Where's that? Downstairs?
Upstairs.
Upstairs?
Okay. So, you remember seeing him while playing the Uno, right? You remember seeing him playing Uno, but he was not part of the clique. Boom. You took a nap, I'm assuming. You were tired, and you were awakened by two shots, two loud bangs. From your experience in firearms, you were like, yo, that was a gun.
Well, like, it wasn't like it hit me right away.
Yeah.
It was just, by the time I heard that second one,
it was like,
oh shit, heard, like, really loud, and I was like, there's nothing really potentially louder than that besides like a firework.
No, you're
or
good.
anything. But then that's why like I try to peer outside to see like if anyone was doing any fireworks.
Besides you running out of the house, did Mark's dad run out of the house? Okay. Would you say, or as of right now, is he sleeping or is he just not there or what?
I'm pretty sure his dad was sleeping.
Okay, grandma?
Sleeping.
Then obviously your boyfriend and Mark was outside at the time that you went outside. Did Malik run outside of the house?
Malik was, like, I was being told that, like, I just remember, like, hearing in my sleep a bit that, the friend was coming over to hang out with Malik. Oh,
friend, okay, so he was expecting a friend.
Yeah.
Expecting a friend. But you didn't see him and you're not even sure, right? Expecting.
What do you mean?
First, you didn't see the friend come?
No.
You just heard that he was going to come?
I was just upstairs.
Okay, expecting the friend to come over.
Because I usually try not to be around all the guys, because I'm the only female, really.
Yeah. No, it makes total sense. Did, Malik didn't say that, though. Your boyfriend and Mark said that?
My boyfriend was the one just like, hey, just to let you know, like, there's someone coming over.
Okay. That makes... From the information that we already have, obviously it's making more sense, and we appreciate the fact that you're explaining this a little bit better now for us, okay?
I'm sorry, it's just all so blurry.
It is, oh, trust me. Like I said, I think me and you have been awake for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
So, just to make sure you heard the noises, you come out, you said, oh shit. Everyone, Roy, Mark, and you get in the car, oh shit. Now, this is where it becomes a little bit difficult, right? And I'm going to be extremely, as I call it, blunt, okay? Is there anyone else in the vehicle?
No.
Alright, so...
It was just me, Mark, and Thaddeus.
You, Mark, and Thaddeus, okay. When you left, did you see anybody in the immediate area, like in the house, on the sidewalk, on the block? Anyone nearby at all there?
I can't seem to say I did. It just seemed pretty dead out on the streets, and it was just dark out. And it was just like, as well with, at first I was driving without my glasses, and then I forgot I left them in my glove compartment, so I had to put them on. But by the time I put them on, we were already at like the light of Fortune Road to then like head towards 492. But I can't say I've seen anyone, but maybe if I did have my glasses on, I could have. I don't know, because I can't really see in the dark without my glasses.
Makes sense. Alright. You took a left, you took another left, you made it all the way down to your friend. So, from the information that we gathered and spoke to, you're like right on point, and that's why we're like good looking out, basically, because you want to make sure that you kind of protect yourself, right? And it's very important that you tell the truth. There is a missing link, okay?
Yeah.
And that link is pretty big, right? And I think we all know what that missing link is, and it's important, right? And we're gonna need you to clarify that just a little bit more, just because it's a missing link, right?
That's all I've really said is all I remember.
No, I get it.
Do I have to keep being questioned?
And that, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Do I have to keep being questioned?
No, I mean what we're trying to do at the end of the day is make sure we clear you.
Yeah, I know.
But like I said, unfortunately, I don't know if you ever experienced this in the past, right? It's very important, and I know it's a traumatic moment. It is. We've been doing this for more than 10 years. Alright? Last year I had to speak to a 15-year-old. Okay? It's traumatic. Don't get me wrong. And we understand that. And like I said, we spoke to your family already, your mom and dad especially. Okay? We didn't say nothing about a boyfriend on your mom's aspect of it, but your dad actually brought up your boyfriend thing. Because that's different. Your boyfriend or girlfriend, we all was there at your age too.
You just gotta be fully honest with us.
But it's important that we get the basis of it, because like I told you, we know a lot. Okay? We do. We really do. And we just want to solidify that what we got is equal to what you got, because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you right now, were you responsible for the blood that you saw? Right? In my heart, I'm going to say no. Right? Do we think that from your experience and what the noises that you heard, that it was you? Absolutely not. Do you think it was you? You were awakened by that, right? So that's actually good stuff, right? And that's why I say it's important that we clear you up, because it's huge, right? Because I'm going to tell you right now, me, you, him, and several other people know exactly what happened, right? But at the end of the day, you really have everything, your whole life, right, to really take care of yourself. Because, like I said, we truly believe, and everybody else we talk to believe, you are not the one responsible.
It's not your fault.
Am I wrong? Right? You're not 100% responsible for what you saw when you were woken up. You're like the oh shit factor right before that. Okay? So that's why I'm like, dang, she's on point. Yep. Because it just collaborates on what we got. Okay? But there is going to be a little bit more details, and the reason being is because we pretty much already, there's what I want to say, there's no missing links. We got everything.
Yes.
We literally got everything. And when I say everything, everything.
We've been up there 36 hours straight doing this.
Alright.
So,
for example, this is
we saw a bunch of stuff
question,
already.
right? Easy question would be, did you go to Clearwater, Sarasota, that area, yesterday? Right? That's an easy question, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Maybe you were sleeping?
Probably, maybe.
Okay, there's a possibility. Okay. Easy thing, we have information to believe Clearwater and Sarasota were a place that, you might have visited while either A, you were sleeping, or B, you were in the car. Right? So that's just to give you an idea of the totality of everything.
Yeah.
Right?
We already know.
So just elaborate for us a little bit more. Honestly, you pretty much got everything. There's two little areas though. I just want to clarify. Okay?
You're not lying. You're just not being full. You're not telling us everything. You're being truthful. You're just not telling us everything.
I just can't remember anything else.
Okay. For example, the car, right? I think either your dad or your mom said, hey, they got it for you. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And you are the driver of that vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
That's yours.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, would there be anything in the car that we would need to know about?
Mm-hmm. Besides, like, I tend to keep a knife in there just for my own being.
Okay,
my
which is
own
totally
protection.
cool.
Well, I can say I keep a couple knives. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie. I know my boyfriend keeps a screwdriver in my back seat just in case of anything happening to me. That's
Very
really
nice.
about it.
Okay.
That's it? You sure?
Before we got caught, there is a roach in the middle console.
Roach of what? Weed?
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Now, I didn't fully like go inside the car or anything like that. Would there be like any other items like book bags? Like I don't know what you normally keep in your car. Clothing, like you. Is this the clothing that you were wearing the whole since that day?
I also had a pair of my black shorts.
You were wearing black shorts.
But I just had female issues.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You didn't have to elaborate. So, like, let's say that shirt right there, was that the same shirt you wore that day, that night?
Yeah.
What about the pants?
No, because I had my female issues.
Okay. And Mark and your boyfriend, the clothing that they're wearing right now, is that the same clothes that they wore throughout the whole time?
I'm not quite sure. They both tend to change a lot whenever they're at the house.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that once they got in your car and drove off, right? And the only reason I'm asking, like, should there be a bunch of clothes in your car or not really? Or maybe they got rid of clothes at the 7-Eleven or here or there or whatever.
I'm not really sure. I tend to leave my work stuff and stuff like that.
Oh, the Wendy's gear?
Yeah, so it's I don't really keep track of really what's going on. I know I have Pokemon cards in my car. I did. I don't even know how they ended up there. Sometimes I just lose track of what actually is in the car.
Trust me, I was your age too, and I wouldn't sleep for 2 days at a time, hanging out and doing stuff. Is there anything that you could think of that will help us even more, or help yourself actually?
You just have to tell us everything and be honest with us.
I'll give you a clue, right? For you got the interior of the vehicle and stuff like that, right? Driver's side, back seat. I know you say there's some knives, roach, maybe some clothes. What do you have in your trunk?
Really nothing. I dumped out a lot because we went to the beach. There was another time I took a trip to the beach and there was just so much sand.
All over it?
Yeah, it was just annoying.
I hate sand.
When did you clean that up?
Can't really seem to remember. I don't remember. It was just because I had a bunch of I know there's a box because someone bought a volleyball that they threw. There was just a lot of trash from the beach because it just took me a while to clean up after the beach because then I had work and all this stuff, so I just never really took the time to clean my car.
Okay. What do you think? You think she's being 100%?
She's leaving some things out. She's
Some
leaving
more
a
information.
couple things, a few things.
So let's this morning. Let's go with this morning. Then you woke up, I'm assuming, or did you stay up all night long? So talk to me about this morning. I don't know where you woke up from or who was driving or what, but explain to me the moment where your eyes opened.
I woke up and I remember seeing people in a pool because we were parked up nearby a hotel.
Okay.
And then I just had really, really like dry mouth, so I wanted water, just something to drink. So I stopped by a gas station, got,
Do you know which one?
I believe it was a 7-Eleven.
Okay. Do you know where?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Were you driving there or somebody else?
I was driving.
So you go over there, did you get water?
I got a fruit punch.
Did you pay cash or something else?
Cash.
Fruit punch. What about the other guys? Did they get anything?
Mm-mm.
Did they go inside?
I know they had to use the restroom because we had just woken up.
Okay. Is it far from here or not really?
I don't know this area like that.
Okay, you got some water and they went inside and get some stuff. Do you know if they bought anything?
Not that I'm aware of. I was just told they had to use the restroom. I was just really trying to get my drink.
So after you got your drink, you got back in the car, then what?
We went to Walmart because we wanted to get toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant.
Did you get it?
Yeah,
Okay. How was that paid for?
cash.
By whom?
That, it was, because, me and T, we kind of share cash, kind of, but
Yeah.
I usually just tend to let him hold it.
Okay. No big deal. I mean, you guys are boyfriends, right? So you bought some stuff? Then what? I'm guessing it was a Walmart that's nearby here?
I guess so, I don't know.
Okay.
We decided to go to a Dollar Tree because we wanted food without having to waste money on fast food or anything like that.
Okay. Did you guys go to Dollar Tree? And did you get stuff?
Yeah, we got I remember there was a juice, lemonade.
Okay. Anything else?
We got nachos. I think we got honey buns.
Oh, I got a friend who loves those things.
I love the iced honey buns. I microwave them for 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I kind of just walked away from there because I just wanted air outside.
Okay. Sometimes the female needs her own separation, right? Okay. And then what happened after you got all the goodies?
We decided to go to Target because I realized I needed some more female hygiene stuff. Then we just walked in the car.
Is that the same Target that they stopped you? So you went inside and bought some stuff?
Well, we were about to.
Okay.
Right when we stepped out the car was when we seen the officer.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, then. So, I guess today, the only places was the Dollar Tree, the 7-Eleven,
And Target.
and Target. Nothing else? Okay. I don't even know the time, so.
Did you go anywhere else besides possibly you said possibly Sarasota and the Tampa area you were sleeping?
I don't remember going over there.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
I don't even think we went over there.
So Daytona this is the only place that you've been in the last 2 days?
Well, we came down here last night. Well,
Last
yesterday, so yeah.
Okay. All right. Listen, so we got you, Mark, and Thaddeus are in the car. Right? Since what, Friday? Friday night? Saturday morning? How often do you speak to their roommate? What's his name?
feeling fresh.
Fresh. Malik, how often do you speak to him?
I tend not to, just because like I'm usually in my phone or I just don't speak.
Are you the only one that uses your phone?
No, we all use our phone fair
You
enough.
all use
Everybody
it?
does.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So this is the issue that we got going on right now, okay? So thank God you're accounted for, right? Mark's dad, obviously we saw him. He's accounted for. Grandmama, boyfriend, which is D. Mark, alright? And not Malik, okay? And then of course you. We're curious, of course, of Malik.
Where he is.
Because everyone has been accounted for, thank God. Because last time I checked, the police got all three of you. What's up with Malik?
I don't know. I have not seen him ever since Friday night after like being in the room with Lana.
Okay. So he's still missing.
You realize whatever happened that night is not your fault, right?
I don't take blame for stuff that's not my fault.
Okay.
Nor do I say sorry when I'm not.
Okay. Okay, but this is a big deal here. Okay? And you, like I said before, and like I keep telling you, you have your whole life ahead of you. Okay? So you need to be completely honest and not leave anything out. Okay, listen, Lana. Lana, you're not telling us everything. Okay, you are not. Okay, you're not telling us everything. And we already know that. Okay? But you gotta look out for yourself. Okay? Where do you want to be in 5 years? 10 years?
I don't know.
Where do you want to be?
I don't know.
Huh? Seriously? You don't know?
Still trying to figure it out.
Okay. Do you want to do your own thing and, be who you want to be?
Of course.
Yeah? Now's your chance. We may never be back here at this moment again. You understand what I'm telling you? Lana, you have to tell us everything.
That's all I can seem to bring to the table for you guys. I can't remember anything else.
I'm telling you, we're giving you a chance here. Okay? We're giving you a chance.
Well, what's weird, like I said, you're giving us this information that you obviously know and participated and was involved in. Everyone is accounted for except for Malik. And you told me that you heard 2 loud bangs and saw blood. So, is it Malik's blood?
I don't know.
What would that tell you, though? You heard 2 loud bangs, you saw... How much blood did you say? A great amount?
It was a decent amount.
A decent amount of blood out there. You guys left, and no one can find Malik.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so what...
But, like, sometimes Malik, like, I know, like, sometimes he'll, go and stay with some female friends. So it's like, that's why we never really worry about him. He's his own grown man. But it's like, at that point, it was just...
Whose blood do you think was outside of that house?
I don't know.
You don't know. You're not being fully honest with us, okay? That's number one.
Like, I can't sit here and pinpoint that I know whose blood that was because I don't. I wasn't there.
Okay, where else did you guys go when you left the house that night?
Nowhere. We went to the spot.
You went to the spot. How far away was that spot?
The spot nearby my dad's.
The spot nearby your dad's. Okay. Did you drive? Did you take a ride at all that night?
We took the ride to the spot.
To the spot. And nowhere else?
Well, do you think Mark is saying the same thing you said? Do you think your boyfriend has said the same thing you said? So if, because obviously you see me on my freaking phone. The question is, you were doing really good and you were pretty much on point on most of the stuff. But what I don't understand is that there's different like stories now. So I guess the question will be like, who should we lean on more, like you, on your boyfriend, or Mark? You know what I'm saying? Like,
who should we believe?
I can't tell you on that end. That's your guys' end.
yeah. So you're not gonna get mad if I believe like Thad more than I believe you?
That's your decision. I can't control what you want to do, sir.
Oh, I'm not doing anything. It's just a belief, right?
Yeah, I just have no control over that.
Okay. So is it more of just a memory thing, or that is literally everything that happened?
That's literally all that happened and that I can remember of.
Did you sleep a lot of hours? Because I know you kept on saying you were tired, and then there was another section where you slept.
Like, I did and I didn't. It was really just like, I would be sleeping, but I'm not actually sleeping. Like, I was just,
Yeah.
it was just like resting my eyes, but my mind was shut off.
Gotcha. And that was all in the car?
Yeah. That's
No
why
hotels, no nothing?
Mm-mm.
Alright. You swear that all the information you provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Do you need some more water?
No, sir.
No, you're not thirsty?
Thank you, though. No, I
Mouth's
still,
not dry anymore?
I still have a good amount of water.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Alright, give me a second, and we're gonna see what's going on. Alright? Got a bunch of messages and
Can I tell you a story? Can I tell you a story? Okay. There's once, I've been doing this a little over 20 years, right? Just been a police, been in law enforcement. In a couple of years, maybe about 10 years ago, I worked in the courthouse, right? And I saw this one case, right? This kid, okay, drove his friend, right? Okay, to meet somebody. Okay, his friend got out of the car, right? Shot this kid in his face. The kid died. Fell on the floor, died, right? Okay. So, the kid who shot the kid got into the car and they left. Okay, a few days later they all get caught. Okay, they go to jail, they go to trial. Okay, the kid who did not shoot the guy, who only drove the car and drove his friend away, got charged with the same crime he got charged with. Okay, which was first-degree murder. Okay, punishable by life. Okay, in prison, and possibly, you know, the death penalty. There's no telling. Okay, depending on the charge. Okay. But the driver, who really just drove the car, went to trial first. Okay? He got found guilty of murder. Okay? The guy who shot the person, went to trial after him, and did not get found guilty. That was the biggest injustice that I've ever seen in my career, in my whole life. Okay, and I do this to help people. Okay, do I want to see anything like that happen to you? Okay, no. Okay, we know Malik is missing. Okay, we know Malik is dead. Okay, we know that for a fact. Okay, you have to be completely honest with us. Okay, so nothing like that happens. Okay, you're only 17 years old. Are you willing to risk all of that? Just over what happened, which wasn't even your fault? Okay, we know it wasn't you. But check this out. You leave with everybody. I'm not even sure with everybody, but you and Thaddeous leave. Right? I'm not even sure if Mark was in the car with you guys until later. Okay, there's a lot of stuff we already know and we saw. Okay, there are houses in there that have surveillance systems, Lana. Okay, they have surveillance systems on those houses. Okay, you have to be fully honest with us so we can help you. Okay, if you don't, then there's not much we can do. Okay, it's your life, you're 17, but then you and your family have to deal with that. Okay, this is a job for me. Okay, I want to see justice. Okay, I want to do what's right. Okay, do I believe that you're a killer? Hell no. Okay, you're not a killer. Okay, but are you caught up in this shit? Yeah. Okay, Thaddeus is your boyfriend for a year? It's not worth it. Do you want a career? Do you want a future? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Okay, and I am being totally 100% honest with you right now. This is a big moment for you. Huge, big moment for you, girl. You have to be 100% honest with us. Okay? I don't even know you. I met you today. Okay? But I don't, as a dad, I don't want your parents to go through this shit. Okay? I've seen a lot in 20 years working, at pretty much everywhere in this profession. And it's ruined a lot of lives. I really don't want to see your life ruined, honestly. Neither does Detective Cortez. Okay, that's why I decided to come in here and just tell you the truth. And you have to be completely honest with us. Okay? We know you weren't in... There's somewhere else you went. How do you think we know that? How do you think we know that, Lana? Your phone's in your car? Right? You have your phone with you? No? Where's your phone at?
I sold it.
You sold it to who?
A pawn shop. I needed money.
Where's the pawn shop? It wasn't in Kisseemmee. We know that already.
I can't seem to remember where it was.
But it wasn't in Kisseemmee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell us about Malik. Please, be honest with yourself. Be honest with us so we can help you.
What about him?
What about him? Number one, he's dead. Okay. What about your car? Let's talk about your car, Lana. Okay? We have a search warrant for your car. Okay? Do you realize how big this is? We have a search warrant for your car. What do you think we're going to find in there? How about the trunk, Lana? What are we going to find in the trunk? This is how you want it? This is how you want it played? It's all up to you, kid.
There's really just like a TV. There's a speaker in the trunk.
That's it? Okay.
So like in the fall of...
The blood?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of? Why does your car smell so yucky?
We smoked in it.
No, it doesn't smell like pot. I've been around pot smoke for years. I mean, I smell it at work all the time. You know, we know what it smells when it's not burnt, when it's fresh, and when it's burnt. And when people chief out and smoke out in the car with the windows up, and then drive around with the windows open for 2 days, you can still smell it. Pot is not a bad smell, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you right now, okay? That smell in your car is horrible, okay? And you know why it stinks. Don't do this to yourself. Help yourself. Are you responsible for everything that's in that car and that was in that car, you're telling me? Are you responsible for all that? Are you responsible for everything that's in there now and everything that was in there? Who's responsible for it then? If it's not you, it's your car, right? You were in the car. You said before you were in the car the whole time. Okay? You guys said you were at the beach. When, yesterday? Last night? Last night? How many people were at the beach?
Just us.
Just you? In Daytona Beach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? What time was that?
I don't know.
Was the light still out? Was it still light out?
Mm-mm.
No? You don't know what time it was?
Mm-mm.
It was empty?
A bit.
A bit.
Like, there were still cars out.
How many cars? How many people on foot?
I
Tell
don't
us
know.
that. You don't know? Did you walk around with your eyes closed?
No.
You had your eyes open. How do you not know then, girl? See what we're trying to get at?
I just tend not to wear my
You're-
glasses.
You're not wearing them now. Can you tell how many people are in this room or how many people are out in the hallway?
Well, I can see you guys because you're right in front of me.
Yeah, I don't think you really know how serious this is. Okay, you could... Do you really want to throw your whole life away? Do you? That's what you're on track for. Okay, and I'm not lying. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to be brutally honest with you. I'm trying to be brutally honest with you so when I go home tonight and I go to bed, I could say, hey, I gave her how many chances? We gave her so many opportunities to tell us everything and to help herself and to give this girl a great future. You know, and if something happens, then at least I can still sleep at night and say, hey, I tried my best. I tried my best. Okay, but it is what it is because she decided the road that she took. She decided where she ended up. And that's your choice. Your choice. We already know the whole story. And you just have to tell it to us. You have to be honest with us. 100%. Everything. You can't leave anything out. I know it's traumatic. I know it's not normal, right? Okay? I know it's not normal to go through what you've been through. Okay? Earlier this morning, come on. I know exactly what you're saying about this morning is not 100% true. You have to tell us so you can tell the story.
I'm telling you, I woke up and I wanted a drink. We went to 7-Eleven so I can get a drink.
What time did you go to bed last night?
I don't know because we were nearby the ocean water. So
Okay.
I just listened to it.
And you guys did not move. Your car did not move. You're full of it. I don't think, I think you're lying about that part. You're not being honest. Okay, and we already know that. We already know that. Why do you think we're in here talking to you? You have a chance. You have a choice. You have a chance for a future. Okay, you have a chance for a future. When do you turn 18?
April.
Next April. Less than a year. Okay? Plenty of 17-year-olds. Just because you're 17 does not mean you cannot get in trouble or go to prison. Okay? That doesn't mean jack. Just because you're 17. I'm telling you. I'm telling you from experience. He can tell you. Okay? He's been working in this unit that we're in now longer than I have. Years longer.
Look. Lana. We already found Malik.
Yes.
It's a sad story. It's unfortunate.
Yes. Very.
Okay? What happened sucks. Sucks that you're part of it. Sucks that you're involved in it. It does. The best part of everything is that you're 17 years old. That's the best part. You understand that?
There had to have been a reason, right? That happened outside that house that night. Okay? I'm sure it didn't happen for no reason. Am I right?
I guess so, because no one would just shoot someone for nothing.
You're right. You're 100% right. But the thing is, we know the beginning part of it. You gotta get to the after part of it, right? The moment where you drive off, right? I mean, let's think about it, right? How long was he in the car, right? Of course, his oh shit factor huge.
Lana, none of it's your fault. Okay? But we know you... There's no way you didn't know. Okay? And just by you knowing and being around these last couple days...
So break it down to us. Because I already know that Malik's blood is going to be in the trunk. It's all over the backside of the outside of the trunk. So break it down.
We know he's been sitting in there for a little bit. This is a come to Jesus moment for you, Lana. Honestly. You have to do what's right. Do you believe in God? Do you? So do I. So does Detective Cortez. Okay? Who is the main... Who do we have to worry about mainly to judge us in the end? Who do you think that's going to be? Lana. Who do you think's waiting for you to do the right thing here? Okay, if Malik and Thad or Malik and Mark got into an argument and something happened where the result is what it is, I'm sure they have a total explanation for that. Okay? That's for them to worry about, not you. Don't end up paying the same price. It's not worth it.
What happened, Lana? Lana, look up. What happened? You're saying you don't want to say? You do not want to cooperate in this investigation?
Malik
what
had
you're saying.
family. He had a daughter, Lana. A little baby daughter. You need to do what's right. He had a little baby daughter. It's hard for you to relive. But we can honestly help you along the way.
You good? You sure? I gotta eat the easiest question. Whose idea was it to do what they did over there when we found them? That was an easy question.
Your idea? Of course not.
Whose idea was even to drive them to that location in the first place?
Was it yours? Of course not.
This is another easy question. Right? Did you take them out of the trunk? That's an easy question. Are you strong enough to take them out of the trunk? So this is where we need your explanation, because we know that. But if you don't want to say anything, we're not going to force you. If you think that's better for you, then you're going to deal with it such as. Call this an opportunity, call this a blessing, call it whatever you want to call it. But this is your moment. Because you know that oh shit factor? You're right. It's a oh shit moment right now. Because we're talking about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I don't even know where to begin. Kidnapping, first degree murder, mutilation of a deadly corpse. There's so much. But if you don't want to say anything, that's fine. If you think that's what's best. Is that what you think is best? Do you want me to show you pictures of what we found? Do you want to see it? Lana, I'm going to need you to look. Look at me. Alright? Hello? So let's be honest. Let's be real. The best part about it all is you got your whole life ahead of you. That's the best part. But you could also just say, hey, I don't want to tell you anything. I want to risk it. You could say that. We do want to give you an opportunity, but okay.
Honey, you're talking first degree murder here. That story I told you before, that's the truth. It really happened.
Do you want us to leave? We're going to leave. We're going to get search warrants for all your clothes that you're wearing now. Everything in the car. We're going to get your fingerprints. We're going to get DNA from you.
We're taking your car.
If we find anything that is on that body, because obviously there's already blood, okay, in the car, alright, then you're looking at all those things that we talked about.
You're willing to risk that? And
did you steal anything at the stores that you went to? Huh? This is your moment, right here. There's another easy. Did you steal anything at the stores?
I stole the shorts I'm wearing.
You stole the shoes that you're wearing?
The shorts.
The shorts.
Just because I did have female.
I understand that. That's totally, you deserve that almost. Because yeah, it is embarrassing. It sucks. Okay? Anything else that you stole?
I didn't steal anything else.
Those shorts were stolen from where?
Walmart.
Walmart? Today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Where at? Which Walmart?
I don't remember.
Okay, was it near your dad's house or over here? Because I'm going to tell you something right now. We already know, somehow, some way, you went near Sarasota and Clearwater. And maybe you don't know the area very well, but guess what? The last 24 hours, we've been following you like you wouldn't believe. Okay? We even got pictures of your car. We can't fake that.
over in Pinellas County. Yeah.
So that's why we're giving an opportunity, because for some reason, you think we're dumb. For some reason, you think we're full of shit. And the best part is that out of all these people, we thought that you were going to be like the coolest one, because you have your whole life ahead of you. You're the smartest one. That you're gonna be someone.
Are you an evil person? Of course not.
So at the end of the day, would you be so kind and just explain your truth to what went down? Because once again, I'm telling you right now, Thad is going to have his truth. Mark is going to have his truth. And then whatever we have on video surveillance, pictures, phone records, fingerprints, DNA, that's another truth. Those truths can never go away.
And you've been in that car the last 2 days.
So give me your truth. Let me hear this.
We know you didn't kill Malik. We know you didn't take him out of the trunk. Everybody needs the truth. I know you want to tell us. I know so badly you want to tell us. It's hard. I know you don't want to relive all that stuff. But we need you to tell us. Lana. Tell me.
How about we start from this morning? Let's start from the morning. Go ahead. You woke up. Did you wake up in a parking lot? And then what?
I went to 7-Eleven to get a drink.
Okay, I believe you. Then what?
We went to Walmart.
Okay. Is that when you got the shorts? Okay. You got the Walmart. You went to Walmart and you got some lady stuff. Or no? What did you get at Walmart?
We got toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant.
What else?
That's really all I seem to remember that we grabbed.
Okay. Then what?
We went to Dollar Tree.
You got some snacks?
Mhm.
Then what?
Then we went to Target.
You went to Target, okay. And then?
Then we got caught up there.
That's where you got caught up? So explain to me the part where your trunk opens up and something gets disposed. Explain to me that part. What happened? You don't want to explain that part? You don't remember that part? Why is that hard for you to say? Are you scared?
Who are you scared of? Lana, who are you scared of?
The only thing I could think of, honestly, is you're protecting your boyfriend. Your boo-boo. The love of your life. I totally get it. But the problem I'm having here is that you don't even know that if your boyfriend loves you so much, that he would tell the truth, because we already know who pulled the trigger.
He wouldn't even had you with him during all of this.
But because you, thinking that you don't want to implicate him, and whatever he had, his involvement is, that you're basically effing him up. You're totally effing him up right now. Because at the end of the day, if he cared so much about you, that he'll be like, bro, save her ass, bro. I care about her this much. Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, it was her car, my bad. She drove some places, I drove other places. Bro, not my boo. Alright, I'm going to tell you what went down. But are you really going to put him in a position like that? Like I said, you must think we're stupid. You think that you didn't talk about what's going to happen when you get caught by the cops.
What you're going
to say this, you're going to say that. Boom, 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 boom. It's my first day. I'm learning.
Who shot Malik, Lana? Was somebody trying to protect themselves? Protect you? Lana. Lana, look up. Talk to me, Lana. 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 Who shot Malik?
Alright, well,
Tell us.
that's fine.
Alright.
Do you want to see pictures? Or no?
Why? Hey, Lana, look at me real quick. While you're thinking, are you like reimagining everything? Is it like a big nightmare to you? Hey, Lana. It's very traumatic, and you're only 17 years old. We get that. It's rough. Lana. Lana, look at me. Get it off your chest. You're not the one responsible, but you could very well be... Gosh, you don't get it. This wasn't your idea. You're not the one responsible for all this. Why are you going to take blame? Lana, look at me. Lana, why are you going to take blame?
I'm not.
You are. You are taking blame.
No, I'm not. How am I taking blame? I didn't say anything.
Is that what you think it is? You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything.
You don't get the seriousness. You don't get the seriousness of this. What's going on right now, do you?
I do. I'm hearing everything you're saying.
What?
So you're ready to just deal with the consequences as how they fall? Is that what you're saying?
Okay.
Well, that just means that she's 100% part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
And you're going to be treated as such.
You good?
From this part on. Okay, so you made your bed, you sleep in it. I hope it's comfortable. I hope it's comfortable. You got a great life ahead of you. You just threw it all away. You know that, right? It's gone. That's it. Good luck, Lana.
You doing okay? Alright, I'm waiting for these guys to come back so we can figure out what's going on. So as soon as they get back, I'll let you know what's up.
Oh shit, can you get the chair over there?
Oh, yeah.
You got enough water or you need more water?
If you don't mind me asking, what time is it?
6:43. I don't know if you know, but there's like multiple rooms here, and we were just, of course, with freaking Dad. So it's actually like, I almost want to say it's good news. And the reason it's good news is because everything that we talk to you about, and we try to I guess have you tell us your side of the story. He was able to confirm all of it, right? And I know why, because he told me why. Because obviously there was a story that was said, hey, obviously if shit goes down, it'll get caught. don't say nothing. Alright? Which I could kind of respect you for it. Because guess what? He told me, just coming from him, that he does love you. He cares about you a lot. Now, I don't know. I think you told me, what, 1 year or 3 years?
Well, he likes to say 3 years.
He told us 3 years.
I let him, whatever makes him happy, I let him do it. You know?
So why does he say that?
Because we've known each other for about 3 years.
Oh, okay, but you only been like serious 1 year.
Yeah, like
Okay,
because
okay.
we went to school together. That's when
New
we met.
beginnings.
Yeah.
He told us everything. Alright, I'm going to be
Yeah.
100%. And he actually did have a message. And he said, listen, you need to tell the truth. Because he literally broke it down to even to why you went to New Beginnings, because you were smoking
pot.
You know what I mean? You guys been together 3 years. And he really takes the relationship really seriously. I've spoken to a lot of people in my life, and they were like, bro, she's just a girl. And I'm going to, 100, he cried. But he cried more for you than the situation at hand.
He
Alright?
didn't cry like that.
Yes, he did.
Cried.
Yes, he did, because of you.
Alright?
He never cried.
Okay, I'll bring him
He
in here
cried.
and I'll make sure he'll tell you.
He cried.
For some reason, like I said, I don't know if me and you got beef or you think I'm lying.
No.
But he was
It's
emotional.
I know him personally, and it's like within
Okay.
my whole years of life, he's only cried to me about twice.
So if I bring him in here and I say, hey, did you cry in front of us? And he says, yeah. Are you going to apologize to me?
Yes, sir.
Alright, we want to make sure. I'll send out, I'll let him know. But he was emotional because the first thing he was like, yo, I need to make sure she's okay. I need to make sure she's okay. I need to make
Is
sure
he
she's
okay himself?
He's nervous.
He's a little
I think
shook up,
he's wearing a tank top, so he's a little chilly.
Yeah, I'm cold in
And
here.
I'm getting actually a little chilly here too, but I mean, unfortunately, we can't do nothing about it.
I
Just
was
shake your
watching
legs.
the thermometer.
Oh yeah, what's the time?
It says
73.
73.
It ain't that ain't 73.
Oh,
Too
well,
bad.
just press the up button. Help her out a little bit. But I think the biggest message out of everything was she needs to know that he told us what went down. I mean, he told
Everything.
us,
He didn't leave anything
told
else.
us who, what, when, where, how, and like I said, because I think I do feel like I need an apology for some reasons, and we could tell him, we could bring him in here and let him know.
Yeah.
And the reason being is, guess what? At the end of the day, you and everybody else, it's simply the truth, right? And what's crazy is that in 36 hours of torture, right, not only for you because you've been going bananas, but for us because we got to do our job, is that we got the truth, okay? And we didn't need you, and I'll tell you right now, we didn't need him. We already knew the truth. What we need you is to solidify the truth. What we needed him is to solidify the truth. Why? Because it's going to save your ass. Because like I told you, did you pull the trigger? Hell no. Okay, we already knew that. Alright? But I know there's a story, my boo-boo said not say nothing. Whatever, that's fine. Okay? But we're going to give you another opportunity. Okay? And like I told you, do you even... Legally, you're not married or anything like that. There's certain things I can't do, right? But if you think I'm full of shit, I could literally have them come here. The question that I do have for you is that if I do something like that, are you gonna tell me the truth?
Of course.
You say, of course. I want you to say like loud and like with conviction because I don't do that. I really never do that. Okay, but I understand that A, you're 17. B, I actually believe that you have something going for yourself and that you're not a little dirtbag that I'm used to talking to.
You've been saying that all day.
Okay, but so the answer is yes.
If I'm able to see him.
Okay.
Yes.
Do me a favor and
Yes, sir.
just let him know that he could come by over here.
All right.
And you're not gonna have a full blown conversation, but he'll tell you. And I'll ask him if he cried for you. Okay.
We got it.
Okay.
So, but I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? He was 99.9% accurate. I need you to beat him.
With everything,
And the
every
reason being
part.
is because we work on consistencies. Because if I tell you everything, it sucks, right? It doesn't work that way, right? But if you provide your truth, and he provides his truth, and those truths matches, it's good.
That. Don't follow along.
Yes. Can you tell up? Yeah? I don't do it, yeah? Okay? For real? So we can both go home. For real? Please.
She didn't.
Keep it on it.
Hey, she didn't believe me, but let me ask you this, and I know it sucks. You're a man. I'm a man. Did you get emotional with us, and did you cry a little
Hell
bit?
yeah, I'm breaking down, yo.
She didn't believe it.
I'm trying to get you home. I know I'm tough and everything. You know I beat niggas' ass and everything. But this right here, this is a whole different league, baby.
Ain't nothing wrong with crying, man.
This is a whole different league. You for real?
Gotcha.
Alright.
Thank you, man.
Love you.
Love you too.
Appreciate you. So, we good? All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start all over, okay? And now this is for you. If that's bothering you, right? I'll go far away.
Yeah,
you can take it off. All right. You're good though, right? You're not sick or anything like that.
Oh, no.
All right. I do want you to speak clearly and loudly, okay? But let's start like if me and you just met, okay? And what I want you to do is break it down to the point where you discuss something about Uno. So we're going to start from the beginning, but this time I'm going to do a lot less talking and you're going to do a lot more talking. Are we cool with that? Alright, go ahead.
Friday night, I remember Malik had came to the house and he sounded upset coming up the stairs, and he kind of knocked on the door, and we opened the door. It just took us a couple seconds because we knew it was him. We just didn't really want to deal with talking to him because we knew he'd sometimes be in a bad mood. And he kind of just got upset because we used his speaker while he was away, and he just sat there even after we gave him the speaker, he just continued bickering about it and just bitching about it and just, oh, this is some faggot shit, you guys are taking my stuff without asking me. It was understandable, but it was just uncalled for.
Yeah.
And at a point, he had asked us to go get him some wraps from the store, and we agreed because we were about to go out anyways, but then he decided he wanted to come along. And when we had gotten to the gas station, none of us got out the car except him.
When you say him, who?
Malik.
Okay.
And he went inside, but at a point Mark had to go inside to get something. I forgot what it was. But while Mark was inside, Malik just kept going on about, oh, I don't like Mark. I never liked him, da-da-da-da-da, and just kept kind of talking his shit about Mark and how he just didn't like him. And then at a point, Malik brought up the fact that he was going to be getting a gun on Tuesday. And clearly when you do that and you're saying you don't like someone and then you jump to that topic, it just sounds like a bit, not threatening, but it kind of is. Because it's why would you go from talking about you don't like someone to, hey, I'm getting a gun on Tuesday? And just, he went on about, oh, you guys have your little family going on without me. He was just being petty. He was in his bag about how he wasn't with the crew. But we're always but we usually ask you to come out with us anyways. We tried inviting you to play Uno with us and you shut us down. You know, and it's just we're sitting here it's not even like that. Come on, man, just calm down. It's not like that. And he just kind of was just in his bag. And when we got back to the house, I remember he went inside.
Malik?
Yes.
Okay.
He went inside, and I'm assuming he went to sleep. Me, Thaddeous, and Mark, we remained outside. And we were just talking outside. I remember we were just in the car, we're just listening to music, just listening to freestyle beats and stuff, and we kind of just started having a conversation going, and Thaddeus brought up the fact about how Malik said he was getting a gun to Mark, since it's not Mark's house, but it's his dad. He lives there. And he just kind of also brought up the fact about how Malik said he didn't like him. And Mark kind of didn't like that, and he just was like, hey, like, why is he living here if he doesn't like me?
Yeah.
And why is he bringing up the fact that he's getting a gun after he said he doesn't like me? It's just weird. And
That Malik was gonna get a gun?
Malik said he was going to be getting a gun by Tuesday.
Oh, okay. But
But did Malik already have a gun? Did Malik have a gun?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it was just, they were on the verge of, like, not feeling safe with him bringing a gun into the house.
Okay.
They didn't like that because, like, who knows what he could do. So at a point, Mark just didn't like the fact that he would go and talk shit about him. So when he went upstairs, and I guess he woke him up being like, hey, like, come outside, let's talk.
Mark went upstairs and said, yo, we gotta talk.
To Malik, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And they brought her outside, and Malik was just like, what the hell do you want? Like, why'd you wake me up? What do you want to talk about? And Mark's just, what's your issue with me, man? Like, what's going on? What did I do wrong for you to not like me? Because it was like for a long while they stayed together, it was like at first they were doing good, but then it was just at a point Malik didn't like him, and like Mark felt it. But it's just like with Mark, he still does him regardless. He's still going to do his everyday life thing. But Malik didn't like that because he would walk past him sometimes, like, and not ask him how he's doing. Malik stated that night that he didn't like the fact that Mark would want to go and talk, but say like Malik would want to talk. He can't because he has to run on Mark's time. Like, I remember just him saying that he didn't, and then he just like also just was like, oh, I don't like your swag, I don't like your style, like, and he was just, Malik was just really going at it with him, just being like, oh, like, you're a bitch, like, this, that, the third. And it was just, Mark was kind of just sitting there taking it in. And, at a point, I just remember Thaddeus, he went to go use the restroom. I remember him going to use the restroom, and, he had to use the restroom multiple times because they were drinking beers.
Mhm.
So obviously it goes through your system quickly. And at a point Malik kind of tried dragging Thaddeus into it, because how Thaddeus would usually do it is like the boys would go to T and talk shit.
What's T mean?
T is what I call Thaddeus.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And like they would say like Mark would go to Thaddeus talking shit.
Yeah, he'll be the mediator.
Yeah, he tries to be mediator because the whole time all Thaddeus wanted for months now is just for them to squash the beef, because they all live together. They all live upstairs. You're going to see each other every single day.
Yeah.
Why would you want it to be such a horrible vibe and just feel so much tension in the air? Because it's like, that's how it all was. It was just, there was so much bad energy in the air, nobody really liked it. We all just felt suffocated by the bad energy. And like what Thaddeus would go and do is like, if Mark were to say something, he kind of go to Malik and just try to like not dumb it down, but try to like ease it down to him like bluntly. But it was not like anything with bad intentions. He just wanted to try to help, say like in this predicament, like help Malik try to see where Mark's coming from, so then eventually if they were to come together and talk, they can at least come to meeting like calm grounds to just hopefully squash the beef. But I guess in the midst of it all, like, there was a bit of miscommunication, but Malik was kind of just getting out of pocket with it and just trying to flip everything on Thaddeus. Like trying to like, oh, so you're flipping words around, this, that, the third. And it's just like, Thaddeus was like, whoa, man, like, it was just miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? And I was just going to tell him, like, hey, man, like, just apologize, because it's miscommunication. It happens a lot. And it was just, at a point,
Like I said before, we know it's traumatic.
it was just at a point, I remember, I just remember Thaddeous was trying to find something, whether it was his phone, or a lighter. I remember he had a cigarette, and he went in his bag, and he pulled out a gun, and he shot Malik.
Who's he?
Thaddeous shot Malik.
Thaddeous did?
Yeah. And
Did you see it?
unfortunately, yes.
Did he use his left hand or his right hand?
I don't know.
Is he lefty or righty?
I'm pretty sure he's a righty.
Okay. How many times?
Twice. But Mark and I were just freaking out. Mark really didn't know what to do. Like, he was just kind of squirming around, just like, oh shit, like, what do we do?
Where was Mark in the midst of this?
He was outside with us, because at that point, we were all outside because they were trying to talk it out. But it was just like, you could tell there was so much aggression in the air. It would not lead to anything like, okay man, we can just drop it. It just seemed as if, regardless, there was still going to be beef, because it was just the way words were coming out. Malik was just like, yeah, he had a calm tone with it, but his words were very harsh. They were very, very harsh. And Mark was just taking in everything he was saying, but it was just like, up until the point of everything popping off, Mark was just freaking the fuck out. Because, and like, by all means, I was too. I was just like, what do we do? Like, that just happened. Like, oh shit.
Okay. And then?
I just remember, he ended up in the trunk, and at a point, I was just ready to run. I'm not gonna lie, I was just ready to run, but it was like, where would I go? How would I even get away? Like, it's just common sense. If I run, I'm gonna get caught, regardless. It's like, what the hell? And I was like, I just kind of got in the car, and I was told to go to the spot.
Who told you to do that?
Thaddeus told me to. He told me to,
Who gets in the car?
Mark.
And?
Me.
That's it? Alright.
And I just remember driving off, and I was shaking a lot. Like, I can say this was the main blur of it all, because this was really where, like, I didn't know where my mental was. I didn't know everything was actually happening. Nothing felt real. It all felt like a dream.
Where's the gun at this point?
I don't know.
And you said that Thaddeus went into a bag?
He had like a little satchel type.
Like a string bag or something?
I guess so.
Okay. Where did that go?
I don't know.
Where was that bag at when he went into it?
He had it on him.
On him? Okay.
He went into the bag, shot this guy, and then you said somehow he got in the trunk. Is that what you said?
Yeah, he got in the trunk.
How'd he get in the trunk?
I guess someone put him in the trunk.
Who do you think put him in the trunk?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm grateful that you finally came forward, because this is going to look bad on you. But is this the truth that you're telling me right now? Are you 100? Okay. So let's just go forward, fast forward to where he told you to meet him up somewhere?
He just told me to go to the spot. And I remember, I was driving, and Mark was freaking out in the back seat, and he was just like, what do we do? And he was just like, what's gonna happen to us? And I was like, man, we're done. Like, we're done for. Like, we can't do shit. Like, I was telling him what it was. We're done. There's nothing we can do. And it was like, when we got to the spot, like, Mark was really freaking out. He was just ready to just do something, whether it was run away or just do something. And I was just like, I'm not moving. I'm not moving until I know where Thaddeus is, because it's like, the first thing I need to know is my boyfriend okay? Is he still alive? Is he still good? And it was just like, at that moment, like, I just didn't want to go anywhere. And like, Mark's sitting here trying to like tell me like, we gotta go, and I was getting angry.
What was the reason that you left, and why did Thaddeus stay behind?
I don't know.
But he told you to go?
What do you think?
Whenever my boyfriend tells me to do something, I just do it.
I know, I got you. Then did he call you or text you or what?
He doesn't have a phone, no.
How did you know where to meet up with him?
He said the spot.
Oh, you know about the spot?
We used to like go to the spot just to hang out, like if we just didn't want to be nearby people,
Gotcha.
or just like be in public, or just like simply be able to just park up somewhere without needing to worry about something.
Yeah, that's like near, he told us, like it's off of Remington, right? The neighborhood in Fortune Road. Do you know a more specific spot? Like, what is it, a parking lot?
It's just like, all I know is just like, it's not forest, but it kind of is. Like, there's houses, like it kind of looks like a bit of country. It's just land. But that's all I can really say about it. Like, yeah, we started going to that spot ever since we first started dating, but I can't really explain it. Besides, it's just kind of like, if you own a property there, like, it's open land.
Gotcha.
And it's private property.
Gotcha. So you scoop them up over there?
Well, when I got there, I just stayed there. I didn't know if he was coming to us or anything, but all I was told was go to the spot.
Gotcha.
And once I'm told something, I just stay there, because there's been a time before where, like, we got in an argument because I didn't listen to him.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I learned from my mistakes. I know better, so I just do what he said.
Because of the licks, right? He told us.
Like,
Yeah, he told us about the car hopping and stuff.
Yeah, but there were like other times where like we've gotten into arguments because he'll tell me like, oh hey, just stay in the car, and I'll like still and go be like, I don't know where you were, I couldn't see you, so I need to see where you were. So it's like.
So you chill at the spot and you waited for him?
Yeah, because it was like, where else would I go? What am I gonna do? You know, like I'd be lunging around.
So he gets there, then what?
He gets there, and the first thing we knew was we just needed to be out. And that's when I kind of was like, we can't be on this side, because obviously there was a chopper out there, cops everywhere. And it was just, we took that route I told you guys that we took.
Yeah, you go all the way down 192.
Yeah, we went to the spot.
Yep.
And when we got to the spot, we just tried figuring something out. Just trying to like plan something, or just like be like, what's our next move? Because it's like, at that point, none of us could sleep. None of us were in the right mental state of mind. Like,
the whole shit factor, right?
Yeah, like they were crying, but the thing with me was, I was numb. I couldn't feel anything, so I couldn't cry. Like, even if I wanted to cry, I couldn't cry. Like, even if I tried, I just couldn't.
It's a shock factor.
And it was just like they were both just freaking out, just like whoa. And it was just, we all knew we wouldn't be getting sleep that night, for a fact.
When this guy got back in the car, did he have his little book bag with him? Or the little satchel thing you said?
No.
That was gone already?
Yeah.
Did he
I don't
tell you what he
remember.
did with the gun?
No.
Okay. So, you start driving. Where you guys drive to?
We went to the spot.
After that?
We stayed at the spot all of Friday night into Saturday. And, Saturday morning, we were at the spot, but there was just a lot of bugs, and I was just like, we kind of need to get out of here, like, these bugs are annoying. And, it was really hot, so we wanted the windows down, but because of the windows being down, bugs would get in. So I was like, well, my dad's community is nearby, let's just go there. And, we parked up nearby the park.
Which park?
In my dad's community.
Okay.
And, we kind of just chilled there for a bit. We ended up, talking to some people who live there, because they made, like, this guy had a face mask, and we were just complimenting him on it, and he was just saying how his wife makes them, and they ended up offering us some face masks, and we took their offer. And,
in the same community as your dad?
Mhm. And,
Okay.
they ended up giving us some masks. They were pretty nice. Then at a point, I called my dad up because the day before I was supposed to stop by for some money, but I never did.
Okay.
So I called him up and I was like, hey Dad, you know, like, I'm sorry I never got to stop by yesterday. Is it fine if I stop by today? And he said, yeah. It kind of just took me a while to get to the courage and just mental capacity of going to see my dad after it just went down. And, when I went to see my dad, as I said, Thaddeous and Mark stayed in the car.
Were they, like, hiding in the car, or what?
No, they were just sitting in
Did
the
your
car.
dad see them?
No, I had us park in the front of the building instead of the back where I usually go because we did come from the park. But as of my dad, he wasn't aware that I was with Thaddeous.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went upstairs, I just talked to my dad. I seen his girlfriend. I got some money, and then I just pet the dogs, and we were just talking about Thaddeous. We just talked about new beginnings.
Gotcha.
And just about, like, how my dad remembers me talking about Thaddeus even before we were dating.
Yeah.
And, probably I stayed there for about 30-45, and when I went back downstairs, Mark and Thaddeus were sleeping in the car because they were tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke them up, and then, we ended up going back to the park.
In the community?
Mhm.
Okay. You didn't tell your dad about the face mask or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
After sitting there for a bit, they were kind of just still sleeping. I couldn't really sleep. I was just trying to, like, watch something on my phone or just listen to music. But, I ended up having a breakdown, so I had to wake Thaddeus up, being like, hey, like, just don't leave me alone, just wake up, just talk to me. But I felt bad because he was really tired. And, at a point, my Ring app goes off, saying that someone was at the door.
Okay.
And I kind of just ignored it, but Thaddeus was the one like, oh, hey, you might want to check that. And when I did, it was some UCs at my house trying to find me.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously off that, like that, I got shook. And I was just like, we need to be out.
This was while you were at the park?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And when I said we need to be out, we were just like, where are we going to go? How are we going to get there? Like, besides the $10 we had, like, we didn't really have anything else.
Yeah.
Then at a point, I was kind of just looking on the maps for, like, a far enough distance, but, like, somewhere we're still going to be able to get to. And if we need to come back, we'd still have money for it. That's kind of when I was like, okay, I'll pawn my shit. Like, I had AirPods I wanted to pawn. Like, it was just, I I had some decent stuff on me that I could pawn to make sure that we had money.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was kind of just looking at the West Coast, and I was just like, okay, like, there's Tampa, there's this, there's that, like, but it was like, the last place to think of was the beach, so I was just like, okay, like, let's hit Tampa. But the thing was, like, it wasn't like we're driving to a house or anything like that. It was just, I put on the Google Maps Tampa, and it just took me to wherever the hell it said on Tampa, like in the maps. But the thing was, like, we would get lost a couple times because I turned off the location on my phone just in case, like, police were to tap my phone or anything.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
you know, I was just scared. I was just shook. I don't know what I was thinking. But we filled the tank with the money. Like, we did go to McDonald's to get water. I went to use the
Was it a local McDonald's near your dad's house, or?
It's the one right in front of his house.
The one right in front of his house,
And then
okay.
we as well went to 7-Eleven when I went to fill the gas, as I said earlier.
Yep.
But then, like, well, really, we went to, no, okay, so after I had left my dad's, that's when we went to McDonald's, and then 7-Eleven, and then we were just like, where else should we go?
Did you get your shirt from your dad? You asked your dad for the shirt?
No, this is my boyfriend's shirt. I did get a shirt from my dad, though.
Okay.
And it was really just for Thaddeous.
Okay.
And, after we left from 7-Eleven, that's when we went to the park. And then that's when, like, I seen the UCs at my house.
Okay.
And then that's when we were just like,
we got to go.
We gotta go.
Okay.
And we went down to Tampa, and on the drive, we were just trying to figure out a plan. What are we gonna do?
And at this point, you didn't pawn anything yet?
No, we didn't pawn anything until we got down to Tampa.
Tampa, okay.
But we were just thinking about ways to get money, what we would do, and it was just like, a factor in my head was, I know at a point my mom's gonna send out a search for this car. You know, and it was just kind of obvious, and like I knew at a point she was gonna put out that I was missing.
Yeah.
And we were thinking about a Greyhound, but they didn't have any that were departing. Like,
you went to the bus stop?
We did, yeah, but I didn't go inside or anything. Just because of the fact that I am a minor, and it's just like anything
we knew
like that. Yeah. And after we left the bus place, we were trying to go somewhere. We were trying to go. Well, at that point, we had came to the conclusion of, like, we can't really take a Greyhound because the only places it was really going to was Miami. Going to Miami was pretty useless because the thing was we wanted to get out of state.
Yeah.
And it's going out of state, like, I mean, going to Miami, that's not out of state. It's just a waste of money because then it's like when we get down to Miami, like, we're going to be on feet.
Yeah.
Who knows how much money we're going to have left. We're just going to be homeless.
Gotcha.
And
who's thinking about all this stuff?
all of us.
At the same time, like, you're acting like a team?
Guess so.
Okay.
It was just, we're all together, we might as well work like a team.
Yeah, makes sense.
Instead of doing a whole free-for-all, then that's just
crazy.
But, I can say after we leave the bus stop, I can't remember if we went to the value pawn or if we, went to a Walmart. No, we went to a Walmart. I remember we went to a Walmart because that's when I got these shorts.
All the way down there?
I'm pretty sure.
Tampa.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Did you use your GPS to find that Walmart?
I think I did, yeah.
Alright.
After I got the shorts, I remember, we went to Chick-fil-A so I could change my pants, and I wanted to get us some water. And, it took me quite some time in there just because it was really packed. They were just slow.
Is there a Chick-fil-A near the Walmart, or where's this Chick-fil-A?
I don't really remember.
Okay.
Remember how far you drove to get to the Chick-fil-A?
It wasn't too far.
Not too far, okay.
And then after Chick-fil-A, that's when we decided to go hit up a value pawn, I'm pretty sure. By all means, don't get me wrong, I may have some of this out of order,
That's
but
fine.
I'm trying to
Okay.
keep it in order as much
That's
as I
okay.
can.
That's okay.
But,
You remember where that value pawn was at? Like, would you say Tampa? Would you say...
it was, yeah, I believe it was Tampa. It was Tampa, yeah.
Alright. You go to Valley Pawn, then what?
We tried getting rid of our phones because we know phones would bring in some money, but they were just saying they couldn't take an AT&T carrier, which is what me and Mark had.
Gotcha.
But they ended up buying off Thaddeus's phone, and they bought my AirPods. Actually, no, they did not buy Thaddeus's phone, but they did buy my AirPods. And
Who did all that paperwork?
Mark, because he was the only one with an ID.
Alright. So Mark pawns all that stuff. Was it AirPods? What else?
I'm pretty sure it was only AirPods because we only got $20.
$20.
They were your AirPods?
And
That Mark does the AirPods because he's the only one that had ID at a value pawn. The reason I'm asking that, you know, we're gonna check, right? So you're telling me the truth.
yes.
All right. So after you get $20, then what?
We were trying to find an Eco ATM, which is those little machines.
Yeah, I
at
learned
Walmart
that
or
today
something.
from Thaddeus. He told me what it was. I was
Yeah,
like, what the hell?
you know, but it's pretty handy if you actually have a decent enough brand new phone. Because I remember from the past, we used to also go to Eco ATM, and there was also like signs on the thing saying like, oh, you sell an iPhone X, sorry, you get like $200 something. So for me, I have an iPhone X, no scratch, and it's working. I knew I had to get triple digits for that. If not, I was just getting gypped up my ass, and I was not gonna let that go because like it's an iPhone X. I just money on that. So
That's like this one, right? Is this an iPhone X?
That's on the iPhone.
Like this. It's an X.
That's
the X.
I think that's the XR. But I had like just the 10.
Gotcha.
So Thaddeus ended up getting rid of his phone. It took his phone.
Do you remember where that was at? What'd you call it? Eco ATM, right? Where's that at?
It was at a Westfield mall.
Westfield
I
Mall.
remember Westfield because I grew up in a Westfield mall, and I remember seeing it and I got excited. I was like, oh hey, that reminds me of my childhood.
Okay, and I'm guessing you have to go inside the mall and then there's a little Eco
because
spot.
at first, we had kind of lost hope because it didn't really come up on the map about where it was. So then we kind of just went to like phone stores asking about it.
Yeah.
And at a point, one of the guys told us, oh hey, it might be over nearby the vending machines, by the escalators. So we went to the escalators and we seen all these machines like CVS machine, like Amazon box and stuff, but we didn't see Eco ATM. But we were nearby the escalators and we just ended up going up because there's a whole second floor.
Yeah.
And when we got upstairs, we finally came across it, and I got really excited. I was like, holy shit, like, this is like finding Waldo.
Eco ATM, yeah.
Yeah, and,
so you got some money from it. How much you get?
For my phone, I got, I believe it was $135.
And for...
Thaddeus only went off for $9.
Damn, that's what he said. He said he only got $9 and you had $135.
I love Android.
That's what you get for buying Apple.
Yeah, I know, because it was one of the brand newest ones.
Quiet.
But then at the... But, yeah, I was like, damn, you only getting $9 for that?
It's like a Harley and a Suzuki. Harley, Suzuki, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
Crazy.
What about Mark? He didn't give up his phone?
Well, we still kind of needed a phone for GPS, or like if we need to watch the news or anything.
Okay.
We just need to make sure one person had a phone, and it was either between me or Mark. But at that point, my phone was already blowing up, because after the UCs came to my house, everybody was blowing up my phone.
Okay.
My mom was calling, my dad was calling, but it was just, I knew if I picked up the phone, a whole flame would ignite. And it was like my best friend was calling me, and she was trying to get a hold of me, like, the main people around my life were worried.
Yeah. They were, though. They were.
And,
So you decided it was going to be you?
Yeah, it was just because Mark's phone, it was like an iPhone 6, it's cracked. I knew he wouldn't get too much off of it.
But Mark wasn't having like beef, like, yo, why I gotta give up my stuff? You know, it's he didn't do none of that. It was like, man, you guys were really working as a team.
Like, he had this little iPhone 5, but he was only getting $3 for it. And we're just
might as
like,
well keep that shit.
yeah, like it was just a waste.
So he made an effort, though. He made an attempt.
Of course.
I gotcha.
Because obviously we just all needed money. We just wanted to make sure we had money.
Yeah. So you get some money, and did you leave the mall?
Yeah. It started raining, so my tires on my car, I need to get new ones because they're on skids. So Thaddeous was just like, I don't want to drive. I'm scared to drive. And I was just like in my head, I was like, you're being a bitch. But I was like, you know what, I don't blame you, because my car, like, I nearly got in a crash when it was raining before. And I got lucky that I drove into some grass instead.
Oof.
Yeah, and at that point, that's when we needed to figure out where we were gonna go, what we were gonna do.
Hunker down for the night, pretty much?
Not really.
No.
Because we still wanted to be on the move out of Tampa, because we just didn't want to stay in a spot too long.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, us staying in a spot too long got us caught up. But I remember we were planning on driving towards up north. And I remember just driving for a good hour, but I got really tired and I was swerving. And I did wake up Thaddeous a couple times being like, hey, how tired are you? Like, can you drive? And he was just saying he's really tired. And I told him, I was like, okay, when I get down to 90 miles on gas, we're going to switch and you're going to drive.
Okay.
And he was just like, okay, you know. But I did feel bad because he was really tired. But the thing with me was I was only running on 2 hours of sleep throughout the whole day.
Do you remember what highway you took driving north? No? Okay.
And this whole time, right, when you leave your dad's house, and you're in the car with Thad, and you said you were wearing that shirt? Or what was Thaddeous wearing? Because did you take your dad's shirt and gave it to him and he put it on, or he's wearing the same one he had before?
He was wearing like a military shirt like mine.
Okay, greenish.
I guess so.
Alright, and Mark, what was he wearing?
Mark tends to, I can't really remember what he was wearing, but he tends to usually just wear tank tops and ballers.
Same clothing that he was today? Earlier?
Yeah, just
okay.
tank top and ballers. That's just how his style always was.
So you guys get on a long car journey then, right?
And then at a point we're in Ocala. I remember...
Ocala? Is that what you said?
Yeah, sorry. I just remember us being there because I seen signs, and then we had to stop for gas. And after we stopped for gas, Thaddeous was kind of just on the verge of, I can't keep driving with this corpse in our car, because it was really fucking with his mental. It was just like, at a point we slammed on the brakes, and it was like we could hear the thud. And it was really fucking with our mental. We hated that. Like, it was like the whole time I was just asking for forgiveness from God for sinning. And it was horrible.
I understand, yeah.
And, Thaddeous was just really on a page of, I just cannot move, like, this car, like, we need to get him out. Because we knew that after a small while, he would start shitting himself, because the body starts to shut down when it's dead.
Yeah.
You're smart.
And we just knew that it would stink the car. And that was the last thing we needed, because the thing is, we'd be sleeping in the car wherever we go. And we ended up parking up somewhere. I can't say that I knew the area, but I remember there was a Cold Stone, because me and Thaddeous went to use the restroom.
Cold Stone Creamery?
Yes.
Okay.
And I remember that because I let Thaddeous use the restroom first, and he was such a gentleman. He laid down the toilet paper on the seat for me, that I wouldn't like have to make contact.
Oh wow, that's sweet.
Yeah. Then after that, we kind of just walked around the plaza, We're
The
just
same plaza where the Cold Stone is at.
we're just walking around, kind of just like not window shopping, but kind of just looking in.
Roaming around.
Yeah.
But it's all three of you still?
And it was also just like we needed to just not be in that car.
Fresh air.
It was just fucking with our mentals so heavily.
Yeah.
And we were walking around, and then at a point, we just sat down and we're just talking and just like, what are we gonna do? Like, we're making up plans of like heading up north to like Pennsylvania or
Leave the
stuff
state,
like
yeah.
that. And then we seen a security guard. They just passed by. We just said hi, but then that's when we were kind of just like, it's getting dark out. Stores are closing. We need to handle this soon so then we can be out. And at that point, we all agreed to go into the beach because we wanted to just go to the beach. They're going to get some beer. We're just going to chill. Like,
What time do you think this was?
around like 10 maybe.
10 p.m.?
Yeah.
So 10 p.m. you're still at the plaza.
I'm pretty sure.
You're about to leave because everything is shutting down on you.
I'm pretty sure. But then when we went back to the car, that's when we realized it was stinking.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
nasty.
yeah.
But then there were sprinklers on, and you know how Florida waters can be.
Stinky,
So I was just
yeah.
kind of like, hey, like, maybe it's a sprinkler.
It's part water.
But then we got in the car, and that smell wouldn't
Yeah.
leave. And that's when we were just like, we don't know if he shit or if it's his corpse rotting. But it was kind of just both for us.
Yes.
And at a point, I remember hearing from the trunk, Bluetooth on, Bluetooth connecting, Bluetooth on, Bluetooth on.
You hear that in the
freaky
trunk?
as shit right there.
Yo, and it was
That's some
just,
horror movie
it
stuff
was
right
just
there.
going off, and it would be like a
Oh my
3
God.
to 5 second intermission between it. And at a point, at first, I was like, hey, like, you hear that? And then Mark caught on. But Thaddeus was like, you're tripping, because, you know, we're still paranoid. Throughout the whole night, we're just like, yo, you hear that, you hear that.
Yeah.
But then it was like, yo, like, we hear that. And, actually, no, we had noticed that back at Tampa. We noticed that
So
back
the
at
Bluetooth
Tampa.
stuff?
Yeah, and then, we did try pulling over, and they went to check it, but there was one speaker, that's my best friend's, and I remember Thaddeus holding it to his ear. It wasn't that one. But the thing was, for me, I was hearing it from the back of the trunk. And the thing with my car is, like, you can pull the back seat and you can open the trunk. So I'm sitting here telling them, like, yo, it's in the back of the trunk. It's in the back of the trunk. But, like, they were kind of just like, maybe he's laying on it.
Oh,
But I'm just sitting here like, how is there a speaker in the car? I don't remember seeing him with a speaker or anything.
Did he have an earpiece on or no?
Not that I knew of, because with Malik, when he came outside, he had just woken up.
Okay.
And he had just rolled up some bud and they were just smoking.
Okay.
But I just don't remember him having, like, anything speaker-wise on him.
Okay.
So it was just really shaking us, like, what is that?
Yeah.
But it just kept going. That at a point, because I can say within that whole ride, within these past 2-3 days of riding out, we have not listened to music.
Okay.
But we tend to usually listen to music. But it was just like, it was quiet. And then at a point, when Thaddeus was driving, he was starting to lose it because he could hear the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, like, we're sitting here thinking, like, what if it's him clicking on it saying, hey, I'm alive?
Yeah.
And that was really freaking us out.
So just out of curiosity, does the vehicle have Bluetooth? The Toyota?
My car, yeah.
But would Malik be connected to that Bluetooth?
No, we could tell if he is connected because the screen's right in front.
Pops up, right?
Yeah, like,
and it wasn't doing that.
No, because you have to click on connect to
That you agree
audio.
to the
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And his phone has never ever connected to my car's Bluetooth.
Gotcha.
So it just wouldn't make sense as to why.
Yeah. You're right. So you're figuring this all out, and then what?
I remember, then we ended up driving around, trying to find a community or something. Because at that point, we were just like, we're not going anywhere else unless we get rid of this body. and we went to the gas station. I can't say I remember which one or where it was, but we got some gas in the car, and then someone, I can't say to remember which one it was of them, but one of them filled up a bottle of gasoline. Because
What kind of bottle?
we had a water bottle.
Bottle.
It wasn't like those plastic ones though, it was like one of those reusable
Container
plastic
ones?
yeah. And after that we ended up going to a community, and we were just kind of driving. And then once we were in that community, we just kept going up. And I remember we went over this hill, and then we passed a really nice house. And then after we passed the nice house, there was like this little cutaway, like a little I always forget the word for it, but it's like a little cut where like you go straight and then it's a big circle.
Oh yeah,
A cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And I remember before the cul-de-sac there were two houses on the main street, but the cul-de-sac seemed pretty dead, like no one went there. And it was probably around 11 o'clock. And
At night?
Okay.
Okay.
And that's when they were just like, this is probably the best spot we can have at the moment to do this.
Who's saying this?
Well, it was just like, it wasn't really like being said out loud, it's just kind of obvious because no one was around. The people's houses, like the first house we seen, yes, they were awake, but no one was outside. The second house was completely dark, like there was nothing.
Is it fair to say everybody agreed, say, hey, this is the best spot?
Yeah, I guess so. Because it was just like, we don't know the area, we don't know a better place. So it's like, first thing we see a good place, we're going to take it. Because it was like, as well with, I was still on the verge of, yo, I just want to hurry up and get out of here, go to the beach. Like, the last thing we need to do is be caught up with being in the middle of doing that.
Yeah.
But, I stayed in the car the whole time. Thaddeous said, like, he didn't want me looking.
Okay.
I just remember they got him out the trunk, and I don't really know exactly what they did to him, just because he did say not to look. I also didn't want to look because the whole time of it being from when they left the car, I started shaking. I do know that they did throw gasoline on him, and they burned him, as you guys may know. And I remember they were just throwing grass, trying to keep the light, like keeping it aflame. They also burned nearly everything in my trunk because blood got in on it. They burned my school bag, but Thaddeus gave me my papers, my folders, because he didn't want, like, what if it didn't burn? My name was on those papers.
Gotcha.
I know they did burn my Vans. Like, I remember seeing my shoe and I was like, holy shit, that's
Your
my
Vans
shoe.
sneakers?
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, those are my shoes, because those are my go-tos.
Yep.
So it kind of crushed my soul. I was like, oh, my shoe. But that was the least of my worries. And at a point they were freaking out because not all remains of him were burning. Like, I remember just freaking out because I was like, we need to hurry up. We need to be out. We need to hurry up. We need to be out. Like, I just didn't like the fact that we were there for a little too long. Like, even like, I just didn't
How many minutes do you think passed?
We were probably there for like 10 minutes the most.
10 minutes?
But I didn't like that. I was just mainly like, we need to be out. But they're both also just like, do you want this done or do you want us to get caught?
Gotcha.
But I was just like, if we stay here a little too long and we get done, we can still get caught.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was just like, like the last thing I wanted was to see a neighbor running up the street being like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, and I remember at a point I did pierce over and I looked, and Thaddeus seen me looking, he was like, stop looking. He was like, stop looking, because he knows how I can get sometimes, and like, he knows I can get shookish. So when they realized his feet were burning, they said we need more gasoline. So we went back to the gas station and we got some more gas, put some more in the bottle, and then we went back to the spot.
Same gas station?
I believe so.
Okay.
I could be wrong though. But they threw some more on him, and we were probably there for like another 5 to 10 minutes. But I was still on the same shit of we need to get the hell out of here, because I really didn't like being there for a little too long.
What was the name of that gas station? I think you told us a while back, but
I think it might have been a Circle K.
Circle K.
It could have been a Circle K.
How far was the gas station to where you guys put the parked the car for the and dumped the body?
Probably like 5 to 10.
5 to 10 minutes away. Okay.
But once they threw more gasoline on it and just kept putting in woods and just trying.
So you left while it's still a fire.
All three of you
Went
left,
to
or you
get-
just left? All
We
three?
all-
Okay.
Went to go get gas, came back, the fire's still going. And then you just put more gas? Who did that?
I don't know. I didn't look.
But both of them got out of the car.
Yeah.
You stayed in?
Yeah,
Okay.
because the whole time of everything going down, I told them I'm not touching anything. I am not doing anything besides driving. Like, I will do anything that is not related with that corpse, because I could not get myself to even touch him or look
Yeah.
at him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I would probably throw the hell up. And it was like at a point, like the reason why we needed to get him out so bad was because the smell started getting really
It's
bad.
bad.
We started gagging in
Yeah.
the car.
I smelled it.
Yeah, that after we left there, that's when we realized we were like, okay, let's go to Daytona.
How big was the fire?
When we left, it seemed like it was growing more.
And at this time, what time do you think it is?
It was around 11.
Okay, so the whole thing was pretty fast, right?
Yeah.
So it's still 11-ish? Okay.
Because I remember, like, when we came back in, it was like no one was fazed by anything. You know how, like, the houses nearby the cut were like that one house that I said was like completely off. It was still off.
Yeah.
Those people that were awake in the different house, they were just watching TV.
Okay.
But at the same time, I was still paranoid because, yes, I had my glasses on, but I still can't see out in the dark like that.
Gotcha.
So,
You guys leave, there's a fire going on, and you go to...
that's when we were like, let's go to Daytona now.
Okay.
Like, that was our time to be out.
Be out.
And, I remember, the smell got really bad for us, just really bad for us. And I have this type of spray that I get because I got it from a smoke shop, just in
Yeah.
case, like, I smoke in my car. And I remember just, like, the whole time we were spraying it, but it was, like, it worked for a couple seconds, and then it was, like, once we pulled the windows down, it stank even more. And...
You know the bottle with the gas? Where was that at?
I don't know.
They didn't bring it back in the car?
I don't know if they did, because it was just, like, at that point...
How
we were just,
big
like,
was the bottle?
I could say, like, it's probably, like, 2 cups of these, like
Okay.
or, like,
A
maybe
little
even,
20, 24 ounce
Yeah.
bottle of water? Okay.
But then,
On the way to Daytona, did you stop anywhere?
I can't say we did, because at that point, that's when I went to sleep, because I told Thaddeous probably like 10 minutes in on the drive to Daytona, I was like, hey, I'm going to rest my eyes, are you going to be good? He said, yeah, but I know him, he was being a bit petty, he was a little butthurt because I was going to sleep. And I remember we did stop at a gas station in Daytona, I believe. Yeah, because they got a Four Locos in a black. And
Do you remember what gas station that was?
no, I was in and out of my sleep. Like, I remember just waking up and the car door was shutting because they were going inside. And then I just kind of, like, dozed back off to sleep. And then I remember just waking up and...
How many Four Locos did they buy?
Just one.
Just one? And what else? A black?
A black and mild.
Black and mild.
Yeah.
Black and mild.
I know what that was.
Yes.
You're right.
Well, I knew too. I just wanted to clarify
Yeah.
black and mild.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Do you know who bought it?
Probably Mark, because he's the one with the ID.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, like I said earlier, like, me and T, like, we shared money. So it was coming out of...
Your pockets, yeah. So everything was cash, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
For me, it was like, although yes, I sold my phone and my phone made the majority of the money and my AirPods, it was just still like, we're in this together.
Team.
Regardless, like, you guys don't have money, I may have money, but we're still gonna do this like we all have money.
Gotcha. So after the gas station, after the Four Locals and the Black and Mild?
I was still sleeping, and I remember kind of waking up and hearing Thaddeous say, oh, hey, it's a beach walk.
Okay.
And at that point, I guess they were really trying to go on the beach, but I'm still out of my sleep. I'm just like, why are you guys trying to go to the beach? Like, it's late night, because I remember seeing the time on the maps, on a GPS, on our way there, that we wouldn't get there till around 1 o'clock in the morning. And I remember at a point, Thaddeous was trying to park in someone's driveway so we could be close to the beach walk.
Gotcha.
And I remember waking up and being like, well, you guys can go to the beach. I'll be in the car to make sure I'm not getting towed. Thaddeous kind of had like a little attitude and was just like, whatever, you're being a pussy about it. I was like, look, man, like, I've gotten my car towed about 3 times now. Don't be a dickhead. And we pulled up to this little parking lot. I don't even really know what the place was. I just remember seeing the words of rehab.
The words what?
Rehab.
Okay.
And we just parked up, and I was still kind of sleeping. Thaddeous left me with the keys, and he was just like, hey, you can go back to sleep. And after a bit, I kind of woke up, and I just couldn't find them in my view, and I kind of thought they went to the beach. And I had noticed there were people sleeping in their cars as well. And it kind of shook me because I didn't know there were people around. And at a point, I stepped out of the car and I stretched and I tried looking around for them because I was going to go find them, but I didn't want to leave and they weren't going to be wherever the hell I was going. And then after a bit, I see them walk back to the car. And I was like, hey, like, where'd you guys go? And they're just like, oh, we're just sitting over there at the benches right there. And they're just like, hey, come out, like, just come out. And I did, but I was cold. So I was just, like, really cold. And I remember Mark handed me the Black and Mild. I really don't smoke Black and Milds or, like, cigarettes like that, but within these past few days, I can admit I did, and I hated it.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah,
When you stopped to get the gas in the bottle, did you go inside? Who went inside to pay? Do you remember? You guys use cash or your debit card?
Cash. I didn't want to use my card because I knew anything that I was gonna do on the bank account, it would still go back to my mom's statement.
Okay.
And
did you buy anything from your card during this time?
No.
No? Okay.
I made sure of it.
Because you knew that it would be
I was trying to
found and...
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just like, I wasn't trying to do anything that would lead back to where we were at.
Okay.
I think it was Thaddeous who went inside to go give the money to the cashier. But yeah, we were
I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
But then we were just outside talking, and we were just talking about how, like, fucked up we felt. And it was just like, we were trying to, like, not mourn for him, but feel for him, for Malik. But it was like, we've also kind of had, like, not a rough past with Malik, but a bit, because sometimes Malik would come out of pocket and he'd just be disrespectful. Like, I remember once he came with me to an oil change, and we're at the Toyota dealership, and one thing about Malik is he likes to make his presence known. So he kind of walked in there in the lobby kind of loud, and I was just like, hey, Malik, like, why don't you go sit down in the lobby? And he kind of raises his voice at me and was just like, don't your 17-year-old ass ever tell me what the fuck to do. And I felt some type of way, and I felt even more because Thaddeous didn't really say something in the moment. And I just walked away, and, like, I went to the bathroom, and I cried because I was upset. I already had a bad day going, you know. And I remember just coming back out of the bathrooms, and Thaddeus was trying to talk to me, but I wasn't in the mood to talk.
So Malik was always mean to all you guys?
He wasn't always mean. Like, at first when I met him, he was just like, he was cool, you know. He told me, like, I had an old soul. He fucked with me. Like, he's, like, 30-something, and he knew I was, like, he found out I was 17. And, like, you know, when you first look at me, like, you don't really, well, at first when I met him I was 16, because my birthday's in April.
Yes.
So he was just kind of shook, like, oh wow, like, you're young. But for me and him, I kind of felt like I was starting to fall off with him the moment he started treating me differently because of my age.
Because your age, yeah.
And that's one thing I hate a lot, when people treat me differently because of my age.
I would hate that too. What was Thaddeus's reasoning? Like, I know you guys were talking about it. You guys are like, oh shit went down, feeling for him.
What do you mean reasoning?
Like, yo, I had to do what I had to do because of this. Like, what was he saying is like the cause of what he did?
He didn't have one. He said he blacked out.
That's what he kept on saying?
He said he blacked out, and he said he didn't know why he did it. And he was just saying, like, after he would use the restroom, like, he kind of was just going into a blur. And, he was just saying, like, he wouldn't understand why he did it, but it was like...
What about Mark? What's coming out of his mouth?
Mark, for him, it was just like... It was just like we're still kind of throwing it back to, like... What? Mark wasn't talking like wild shit or anything like that, you know, but he was just kind of saying like certain things he didn't like that Unc did, like how Unc would kind of shame Mark for just wanting to be in his room on certain days, because that's one thing.
Who?
I mean Malik. Sorry,
Malik,
we
okay.
called him Unc. That was our nickname.
Unc, another nickname.
Like an
okay,
uncle
Unc.
type. But what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
So, you guys are at the little park. You wake up, you meet up with him by the bench or whatever. You guys get back in the car?
I think it was like a rehab center or something.
The rehab center.
Yeah, but at a point, I brought up the Bluetooth thing again, the speaker.
Alright.
And that's when I kind of realized that we stopped hearing it.
Okay.
But they were just saying that they didn't find anything in the car that could have been making that noise. So they wanted to check it again. But in the midst of checking it, Thaddeus started throwing up because he said he smelled his fragrance and it really fucked with his mental. It wasn't even the rotting smell, but it was the smell of his cologne or like his body wash. And Thaddeus just, it was bothering him because it was like he was there, but he's not there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, we know he's not there. Like, yes, he's there, but he wasn't there.
Correct.
And it just really bothered Thaddeus that he shut the trunk. He was like, no, we can't do this again. And then at a point, I needed my female hygiene stuff.
Yes.
And that's when I was like I was bugging Thaddeus constantly, like, hey, if you can, please get that stuff for me, or else we're gonna have to drop like $10 just to get some more.
Yeah.
And he was just like, okay, I will. But he was just, Thaddeus is, he's a gentleman, but he's a pussy when it comes to female hygiene stuff. Like, he would never touch a pad or anything. Like, he wouldn't touch a tampon. Like, I call him and be like, hey, babe, like, can you run in the car and grab me a pad? And he'd be like, I'm not touching that. And I was like, stop being a pussy. Like, it's just a pad. Like, you should be grateful that these exist, or else I'd be living in underwear. Like, that's disgusting.
That'd be gross. Yeah, man.
And I remember at a point, he just grabbed it, like, out of the trunk, and he was like he was hesitant because he told me to stay at the bench where I was sitting.
Okay.
But I could still see them in my peripheral view. And I remember Mark went and emptied out all the pads and just threw them in the glove compartment. And I remember walking up to the car and I was like, you got my pads? He was like, yeah, I didn't touch them, but Mark did. And I was like, you're such a pussy. I was like, whatever. And then I remember looking at the glove compartment and I was like, yo, Mark, like, you're a real one for doing this, because I was about to do the same thing. And
this Walmart, you remember where it's at?
What Walmart?
You said you guys went to a Walmart to pick up the pads. Where's the
female stuff?
That was today. We were supposed to go to Target to go get some female stuff.
So the pads, they were just in your trunk the whole time?
Yeah, I already had pads myself.
Okay.
Oh, you never had to go buy them?
Yeah, up until today when I was planning on going to get some more just to make sure
Back
I
up.
was stocked.
Yeah. Okay. So, what time are we at right now?
I can't say I knew just because that's when I did wake up and like we're at that whole little thing. I didn't have a phone, and like when we were there the car was already off, and it was just like I was too late to turn on the car to look at the time.
Yeah.
But I do know it had to be past 1 o'clock just because of the fact that the GPS said we would be there around 1 in the morning. But after we left, no, when we were still there, Thaddeus, when they were in the trunk, one of the female workers had gotten out of her car from a nap, being on break, and she kind of noticed us, and at that point, like they were just done being in the trunk anyways, so they just closed the trunk and we just sat down and they finished their Fort Locos and like all this stuff, and that's when we were like, okay, we need to look through the news reports again, like to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Cause it was like they were still down to go back to Kisseemmee for their stuff, but then the thing with me was, if we go back, how the hell are we gonna get back out? You know what I'm saying?
You broke already.
Yeah, and like, as well with like, we just get stopped. Like, you should know, like, the reason why I didn't want to be in state was because I knew at a point my mom was going to put out a search for my car.
Yep.
And that was whether going to be city-wise or state-wise. And it, as you can tell, like, it escalated. So it was just, I was kind of trying to, like, think smart. And, after we left there, we, I know beforehand we were planning on getting a hotel room, but we didn't because I was trying to like search up the rooms and stuff while we were like still an hour away. So and I was just trying to call him to make a reservation, but he kind of told me like, hey, it's a $40 limit for us.
Gotcha.
But I was just like, $40, Thaddeus, like, we can't get a little motel for $40. This isn't Kisseemmee, because Kisseemmee will let out rooms for $30 by all means.
Yeah.
But these are coming up as like $60, $50 because we're by the beach. Mind to tell you, the whole time, I'm thinking we're at New Smyrna Beach. I thought we were at New Smyrna. And I'm sitting here like damn near arguing with T, like, we're at New Smyrna. And he's like, no, we're at Daytona. And then that's when he told me, he was like, yeah, I said fuck your beach, and I put in Daytona. And I was like, yo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing a lot of the stuff with the GPS, right? A lot of the stuff with that. Alright.
We were really on and off with turning it off and on the location, because every time we would turn it off, it would still work, but we'd have to read through the directions. And then it was just like a couple times we did get lost. So then Thaddeus would get irritated and just be like, fuck it, just turn it back on. But I'd be like, we gotta do this quick then, you know?
You know Mark's phone number? Okay. What percentage of you telling the truth are you at?
I'm at 100. Like, you let
A
me
real
see,
100?
like, you let me see my boyfriend, and you held down your bargain. I did too.
Do you swear that the information you provide is the
I
truth?
put that on me and my boyfriend's life.
What do you think your boyfriend told us?
Who knows?
Alright, but you telling me the truth.
Of course.
Alright, and then the whole Family Dollar stuff is true, the whole Target stuff is all true?
I do know, at a point we did go to, like, we were still down to get a hotel, but we couldn't, because Thaddeus was making calls to motels, and they're just saying, we're all booked. And he was just kind of tripping, like, why are they all booked? And I'm like, look, you dumbass, like, it's 2 in the morning. That's why. Because I remember looking at the clock, and I was like, it's 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is why I was telling you I should have been awake to call out to make reservations around 12. Because, obviously, it's 2 o'clock. Like, everything's going to be booked. And that's kind of when, like, because I was really just trying to get us a room because it was smelly in the car. And then I wanted us to be able to have a bed and a shower. And then we were kind of just still driving around because we need to think of a spot to park up at. But then at that point we're just like, we need a blunt, because it had been like a whole day of us without smoking. Because like yes, like it came to one of their minds, but I was just like, I don't think we should be smoking right now. We need to stay sober
Yeah,
in
yeah,
case
yeah,
like
yeah.
we need to come up with something or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And it was just like smoking isn't the best idea at that point. But
Come
then,
up with something, what do you mean?
in case we
Story.
need to make a plan.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You know, like of like
Make
getting
a
out of
story
town.
or
just-
something.
Yeah, just like we just need to be sober in general because
Smart.
getting high just wouldn't be
Yeah.
the plan. Like it just wouldn't be a good move.
Well, if I had to guess, you being the smartest one in the bunch, huh? So, with that being said, anything else that you think that's important for me to know? Did you smoke the blunt, I guess?
We ended up going to a gas station and we found someone to get us some Bud. Like they gave us some Bud and yeah, we ended up smoking. We ended up parking up at a hotel.
Do you remember the name of that hotel?
No, but it was in Daytona. And because we were right next to the ocean, we heard the waves. Like I remember.
So it's right there on
Yeah.
the, what is it, 1A1? Is that the
A1A.
A1A?
I don't know.
Yeah, backwards.
But because I remember me and Thaddeus, we were just talking outside about like our mental state of mind, and we just were listening to the waves. And at a point, we just went back in the car and we fell asleep up until this morning. And that's when I woke up and was like, I'm really thirsty. I need something to drink. And that's when we went to 7-Eleven, and I got something to drink.
Did you use your card? No.
I had Thaddeus hand me $2.
Okay.
Surprisingly, we were doing really well on saving money. We were still at like about $130.
Not bad.
Yeah, and then that's when we were like, we need to go to Walmart to get essentials because it was like we all looked like shit. Like people were looking at us like we're crazy. Like our
Yeah.
mouths felt dirty. So from 7-Eleven, I do remember we somehow got mouthwash. I don't know how. Like I remember just getting in the car and I was just drinking a lot of fruit punch, and then I seen a bottle of mouthwash. And then when we got to Walmart, I swigged some of the mouthwash, and then we went inside. We had to get some clothes. We got toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant, razors, so essentials.
Some stuff was bought, some stuff was not?
Mhm.
Okay. And you guys all went together?
Mhm.
Okay, cash, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. And after that,
Did you enter like Walmart on the GPS or no?
we had to. Yeah.
Okay.
Everywhere we went, we had to use a GPS because we didn't know where we were. We don't know the area. The only way we didn't use GPS is if we had already seen it. Like we were driving by and we seen it, and then
Yeah.
we just turned in.
Gotcha.
But after Walmart, I remember the day before I was just saying like, hey, if we're gonna be getting any food, we should go to Dollar Tree instead of wasting our money on fast food. Like yes, we can get a $1 burger, but we still gotta feed the 3 of us. We can just go to Dollar General, stock up on some food, and we'll be good. But when we went to Dollar General, we couldn't really find any food that was gonna be good for us to keep in the car in case of anything. You know, like the majority was frozen food,
Yeah.
or it just had to be microwaved.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, why don't we get a Lunchable? But they had nasty Lunchables, so we didn't want any of them. But we found this like little Arizona brand nachos, cheese and dip, and we got some. I remember Thaddeus grabbing some strawberry lemonade. We had gotten some Fabuloso and some bleach, which you may find in the car. And I told Thaddeus to grab this little scrub pad because all we knew was the next plan was to clean out the trunk.
Gotcha.
Because we need to get that smell out. And that's why I was like, we need to get some Fabuloso because it's going to smell good then.
Yeah.
Do you know exactly where which store?
It was a Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree, where? Was it near the Target?
I don't know, but it was nearby Hangar 15 and a
Near Hangar 15?
Goodwill company, something.
Here in Daytona?
Yeah.
Okay.
Goodwill in Hangar 15?
Mhm.
Okay.
And I remember after we left Dollar Tree, that's when Thaddeus realized when we went to Walmart he didn't grab a pair of basketball shorts or just different pants.
Okay.
Because he was trying to get out of those sweats because it was just hot and stuff. So we didn't want to go right back to the Walmart because obviously we had not paid for some of the stuff.
Yep.
And it's just not smart to go right back from where you
Smart.
just did something. So that's where I was like, what about a Target? Because I was also trying to get my hands on some clothes and female hygiene stuff. And when we got to Target, we just stayed in the parking lot smoking. And then right before we were about to leave, like, I was like, oh, are you ready? Like, right when I stepped out, I just remember hearing T, like, saying, like, hey, officer. And I was like, what? And I turned around, and that's when I seen the officer.
Did you get a chance to go into Target? No.
We're literally just getting out to go in.
No. Okay.
And that's when you got
Yeah.
caught.
But, yeah, that's my story from Friday till today.
But it's really important that we get that gun. You don't know what happened to
I
it?
don't know what happened to it at all.
Because he said he got it from car hopping.
Yeah,
And
I
we-
do know he did get that from car hopping.
Yeah.
Because I remember when he first got it, he did show it to me saying, like, hey, like, this is for...
Do you remember what color it was?
It was just a black gun.
Did he
Black.
say it was his?
What do you mean?
You said this was for emergency, like, so that was his gun.
Yeah, type stuff, but
But you knew where he got it from, right?
car hopping, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know he did tend to go car hopping, because one barrier between us that was going on recently was just like, he would get really sad. Like, we were both really upset at the fact that we don't have money. He didn't have a job, so he was really upset about that. And then, like, he was close to getting a job at my Wendy's, but he worked at the Wendy's franchise before, so my managers were just saying, like, hey, we need to call your store. And the thing with his store, like, the managers, they're assholes. Like, they can either go one of three ways. Either, hey, he was a good worker, or hey, he was a whole douchebag.
Yeah.
And it was just like him knowing the way
It's a
they
risk,
are.
right?
Yeah, him knowing the way it was, like, he just kind of lost faith in that job. So it was just like he was really stressed out about getting money, and it was just like the only way he could really seem to get money was
Car hopping.
hopping.
Yeah. The gun, have you seen it before?
Only once.
Once before? When?
When he showed me.
When did he show you?
The night he got it, because I remember he went out that night, and we had gotten into a little argument beforehand because I forgot what we were arguing about, but we were just bickering, and he ended up going out, but before he had left, he didn't say bye or anything, so it was unexpected of him to just leave without telling me. So I was kind of just sitting up waiting for him to come back.
Who'd he go with?
He went with Mark.
So they both went car hopping,
Yeah.
found the gun, and he showed you?
Yeah, but cause I was up all night that night because I couldn't sleep because I just wanted him to come and lay down with me.
Yeah.
But he just didn't seem like he was tired, so he didn't want to lay down.
You guys were staying at Mark's house when he left to go car hopping, right?
Mhm.
Where would he usually do that at? Is it close by, or?
Yeah, usually close by because I tend not to go with them because Thaddeus doesn't like dragging me into his shit. He likes to try to keep me out of trouble, you know. And
But he was claiming that gun.
yeah.
Like he had it the whole time, like since that day. Like he would go out and carry it, or he'll hide it in his room, or what?
Certain days he wouldn't bring it out because I'd be like, hey, like it's not really needed.
You don't need it, yeah.
And it's just like, what if we get pulled over? Then boom, that's a gun in the car. Like, yeah, I know I got knives in the car, but that's for my own being. But a gun, like, you don't even have papers for it. Like, that's a big risk.
And you know that little satchel thing that you were talking about that he has? What is it?
It's just a little super dry bag. It's like a little like over the shoulder bag.
Does it have like a brand name?
It says super dry on it.
Super dry?
Mhm.
What color?
It's just black.
Black. Was he wearing it that night?
Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when you picked him up after the whole situation, he did not have it.
Correct.
Did he tell you that he got rid of it?
He didn't really tell me. I didn't really want to ask because I didn't want to ask any questions off the moment just because I knew in his mental he wasn't doing good. And it was just like I knew I needed to give him a breather. Like just to get a grip of himself before anything would be said.
Alright.
Alright.
You got anything else?
No, sir.
We'll come back real quick, alright?
Thank you, Lana.
We're gonna talk to Thad one more time, right? Anything else that you wanna add? I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Alright. What do you think we should tell the family?
Malik's family, his daughter, son, or mom, dad.
Well, I don't really know, but I know that, like, Malik never really tried to see his daughter. There was one day where he did ask us to go see her, but it was only because we were there and in the area. Like, she stays in Orlando and we knew that, but he never made an effort to go see her, even with all the money he made or didn't have, or, like, he had saved on the side. Like, he never made the effort to want to go see her.
What should we tell her? Or, you know, any one of his family?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Did you think you did anything wrong?
I did, yeah.
What'd you do wrong?
Just skipping town, just being
Yeah.
on the run, and just, like, it's just, like, I know I'm guilty for even being in that car because he was in my trunk. But it was just like, at that moment, I couldn't return because it was just like, he's in my trunk now. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to leave this car? Then it still might come back to me because it's in my car, you know? It's like, I feel guilty, but it was, I don't know what I was thinking.
We told you we found him, right?
Yeah, you did.
You think you should be charged for murder?
I could be.
Kidnapping?
Could be.
Alright, let me talk to my partner and let me talk to Dad. Alright?
Can you please tell my son I love you?
Yes, absolutely.
Hello. Gotta take a few pictures of you. Can you just stand up for me? Okay. Just stand right there for me. And just turn and face me. Actually, let's get you against the wall. The mirror's gonna reflect. Maybe. Alright, have a seat real quick. Alright, we're getting a different camera for that. What I also need you to do is I'm going to give you a swab. Two different Q-tips. Just swab the inside of your cheek, okay? Thanks. Okay. Just do the left side of your cheek. What's your name?
Lana. L-A-N-A.
And your last name?
V-A-N.
V-A-M?
Yes, sir. Is this good enough for you?
Yes.
I tried to rotate it and all.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then I'm going to give you another one for your right cheek. There you go. Thank you. Alright, we're going to go ahead and just, okay, turn facing the wall. Face the wall. And one more turn. Okay, go back over there for a second. You don't have to sit down, I think you'll be coming out in a minute. Can you stick your arms out like this? Like over the table? Okay, flip your hands over. Okay, I'm going to take a face shot of you. Okay, and then stand up one more time. I just got to get a picture of your feet.
They're not painted, so don't mind them.
No, just stay still. Alright, one more second.
Hello. Come with me, we're gonna change you out. I'm gonna go this way to the bathroom and we can